Here we go with our team training. So you guys, this is what we're calling a mini Super Saturday training. We just decided to do it on a weeknight because it is summertime and we know people's weekends are crazy with travel and all of that. So we asked you to save this date a while ago, and we've been planning and preparing for this training, and we're so excited to present it to you tonight. And I've asked several of our top leaders on our team to share tonight. So what I did was I asked them to share on things they were really comfortable with, things that I felt they were gifted in or really did very, very well in. So it's all in their wheelhouse. So they didn't need to plan and prepare hours and hours of training. It's going to be very, very natural for them because everybody's gifts are a little bit different. And I'm hoping that when you get through this training tonight, you guys will be taking notes and you're going to realize there are certain things, gosh, I've got that skill covered. I'm pretty good in this area, but this is an area that maybe was exposed tonight that I feel like I need to work on a little bit better so that I can be a better leader, be a better network marketer, and all of that. So we're so excited to have you guys here. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to get this started. And let me, all right, just if anyone can give me a thumbs up. Can you guys see that well? All right. Tracy Jensen, if you wouldn't mind muting your phone for a second.
It just wasn't sprayed. That's what.
Okay.
Where's the scrub brush?
Okay. Tracy Jensen,
Yeah.
if you're able to mute your phone, please. For some reason, it's not letting me mute.
There you go.
Okay, perfect. All right. All right, guys. So I'm Cindy Walter. Welcome to tonight's training. And I'm hoping there's going to be something tonight for everyone. There's going to be people that are on with us tonight that are new, people that'll watch this training long after the fact. So we're hoping for those of you that are new, we're going to get you fired up about network marketing, fired up about the opportunities that are available for you. And for those of you that have been around for a while, like I was just saying, I'm hoping that you'll realize there are some of these things we're going to be talking about tonight that you're very good at. You understand. You've got a good sense of knowledge in. And then there's going to be some other things that you're going to be like, you know, that's something I really need to get a little better at. So we are just so excited you're here. All right, what I'm going to do is ask Lisa Maciel to unmute, and we really wanted to applaud all of you who got on with us live tonight. So hopefully we'll see more numbers coming on here, and the numbers will get bigger, and we're going to have a lot of people watching this after the fact. But we decided we wanted to do something special for those of you that were here live. So Lisa, are you able to unmute?
Yep. Hi, everyone. So I'm Lisa Maciel. And yes, so we decided to kind of engage you all in the chat tonight. We want you to, you know, like Cindy said, post any questions, any comments, anything that, you know, thoughts that you have, you know, use the chat box and take notes while you're doing this as well. But there will be 3 prize giveaways throughout the course of the night. I'm not telling you when because we want you to stay on for the whole thing, not hop on and hop off, but we understand life happens too. But for those that are on live tonight, we're going to have 3 prizes. And should I say the prizes? I guess I put, should I tell them the prizes?
Why not? Why not? Or no? What are you saying no, Lori? No, Lori's saying surprise.
So, yes, and actually Lori donated a prize, Cindy did, and I did. So we'll be giving away 3 prizes throughout the course of the night, and I may ask you, and I'll be doing the chat and asking certain questions, and those that respond to those questions their names will be put in a hat. That I'll do the drawing in the chat as well. I'll let you know who's the winner. When the first person jumps on to speak, I'll go grab my raffle ticket. So I'll do that too. I'll fill them out. So please stay engaged in the chat. That's how you're going to be eligible to earn a prize tonight. And we'll get those mailed out to you. So
that's great. And thank you, Lisa, for doing that. So guys, we do want you to be active in the chat. We want you to have cameras on if possible. We want you to be taking notes. We want you to be asking questions if you want clarification on things. If there's something you'd like to learn a little bit more about or maybe hear a little more about, please let us know. All right. Here we go with these slides. All right. I've got Tyler right next to me here. He's going to slide into the picture.
What's going on, everybody? So I just wanted to kind of kick off the night here and talk a little bit about what we're going to cover. And first off, just want to commend everybody for being here. Being here live on a weeknight during the summer is not the easiest thing, and we tried to find a time that was going to work for everybody, and it's never going to work for everybody. But just want to commend you guys for being here. And I think one of the most important parts of building a business, whether it's network marketing, anything, I think this would apply, is being able to do what's important but not necessarily urgent. There's 4 types of tasks. There's not urgent, not important. That's watching Netflix or catching up on the highlights from the game last night and just wasting time, right? There's not urgent, but there's urgent but not important. And that would be like, there's some emergency where, maybe somebody texts you like, oh my gosh, my boyfriend just broke up with me, give me a call. And it's really urgent, but it's really not that important, right? And then there's urgent and important, and those are the things that consume most of our time. And what really it takes to build this business, we have to put those 3 things aside and do the non-urgent but important. This is not urgent. It's not urgent to be here on the middle of a summer night doing this, but it's very important to your business. So commend everybody that's here live and watching recorded, because I think that this business is made up of a lot of little tasks that are not urgent but important. And growing yourself personally and professionally is right up there at the top of them. So I want to start by just casting a vision a little bit about where we're headed. I know some of the people on this call have been in this a lot longer than I, and they probably know more about this than me, but I'm just so excited for where we're headed. And for those of you guys that are new, I really just want to show you kind of what you have to look forward to. And I love history, and I love talking about history because I think you can learn a lot from history. I think history repeats itself. And I think that network marketing is very similar to the franchise business model. So if you guys are familiar, there's a great movie about this guy. There's a guy named Ray Kroc. And his whole life till the age of 52, he was a salesman, and he sold these like rotating milkshake makers. So you could make 6 milkshakes at a time. It was a really cool invention. And he was going all over the world, all over the country, selling these to restaurants. And there was this restaurant out in California that was using 4 at a time. They were making like 24 milkshakes at a time. And he was like, I got to go find out what this is. And he went and took a look at it. And there was these brothers, the McDonald brothers, and they had started this restaurant out in California where they were getting people a meal in 30 seconds from ordering, and good burgers, good fries, good shakes. And they were using all of his things. And he was like, what is this? And they were looking for someone to help them franchise their business model. And, the franchise business model has a long history, and with car dealerships being one of the first, and there was an evolution like network marketing, where at one point it wasn't really accepted as a great business model. People said, buy mom and pop, don't necessarily buy from a franchise. There was, ups and downs. But with Ray Kroc, we all know what happened with McDonald's. He started, there was a couple stores in California. 5 years later, there was 500 stores, and today there's 34,000. And I think it's a really cool story, because what happened with McDonald's was they had the right product and a compelling story, right? They had a product that was needed at the time. People wanted faster, more convenient food, and there was a compelling story. They can get you a meal in under 30 seconds. That was crazy at the time. Now we're all health freaks, so we know that we're a different story now. We're not trying to get the country obese like they did. We're trying to get us back in good shape. But right product and a compelling story, and they had the right system with the franchise business model, and at the right time, and that's why they experienced the growth that they did. And I think there's so many correlations with what we're doing here. We have a business model that's come of age. We have the right product that the country needs right now, and we have a compelling story. There's so many people on this call live, watching recorded, in our team, whether it's the products or the business. There's so many compelling stories of what this company, these products, this business model has done for all of us. And now we're at the right time. The Cougars and a lot of the ladies on this call that started 7 years ago when my mom did, you guys have put in the groundwork to lay the foundation for what's about to be massive growth, and you couldn't be more excited for where we're headed. And it took us a dozen years to get to $1 billion a year in revenue, or about $1 billion a year in revenue. And, I can't wait to see how long it takes us to get to $2 billion a year in revenue, because we have new initiatives and new leadership at the corporate level, and new technology like the IsoLife app and Zoom and social media technologies to make it easier for us, and products. We're announcing 5 new products at Celebration, and even more by the end of the year. So it's going to be crazy where we're headed. And we're so lucky to be here when we are, because I think the number is about 10 million network marketing distributors in the United States right now. And that number is only going to continue to rise. People only want more freedom in their life. They want more the extra income. They want the lifestyle that this provides. But I heard some experts talking on a podcast the other day that within 10 years, half of the network marketing companies in existence today are going to be out of business, or they're going to merge with another. Because like every business model, like McDonald's, like the franchising model, the people that do it right, with the right values, with the right product, with the right integrity, are the ones that rise to the top. The cream rises to the top. And the ones that aren't necessarily doing it right will fall off. And there's going to be all these network marketers that want this lifestyle, that are looking for the right product with a compelling story, with the right system, with the right people. And we're going to have a place to give them a home. And that's just going to lead to us making a bigger impact and growing a bigger business for ourselves. So what an exciting time to be here. So much growth in the future for all of us. And that's why it's so important to be here tonight. Although it's not urgent, it's important, because if we learn the skills now and we build the structure now, as these people come looking for a home, whether it's for better health, whether it's for extra income, or whether it's for total freedom, we're going to have the skills to be able to effectively communicate what we have to offer, help them achieve that, and in the process, grow a great business for ourselves. So really pay attention tonight, take great notes. We have some amazing trainers, some multiple six-figure income earners, Isagenix millionaires, people that have opened platinum business centers, which if you don't know what that means they've cycled 250 times in a week, which is $13,500 in a week. And how blessed are we to be able to learn from these people? So take good notes, put it to practice, and can't wait to see where we're all at a few years from now.
That's awesome. Thank you. So you guys know nothing gives me greater joy than being able to build this business with my family. And so having Tyler here with me and being able to mastermind with him and brainstorm with him and just do this business day in and day out with him is so much fun. So those of you that are parents, and even if you have little ones, it is something that I hope you all get to experience. I'm not kidding. It is truly such a joy, and I'm just so proud of him and so grateful for all of his feedback. He keeps me open to change and doing things differently. And it's just pretty exciting. And I think it's exciting for our team to have all these millennials now coming as well. So we're such a diverse team now, and we're really growing in our culture, and it just keeps getting better and better. So thanks for the great warm welcome, everyone. We're going to be talking today about, this is one of our topics. We've got a few topics, but the first one is 7 skills of a professional network marketer. One of the books that we highly recommend everybody read when they get started and they open up their account in network marketing is GoPro. Thank you, Lori. Everybody look at Lori. She is demoing it for you. This book, I've read it so many times. It is highlighted. It is dog-eared. I've given it away so many times. It is such a great book. And Eric Worre talks about the 7 skills that are super important for you to master if you want to be successful. And you wouldn't be on this call. You wouldn't be giving up an evening in the summer, like Tyler was saying, if you didn't want to have a better business, to grow your business, to be more successful. And so again, we applaud you for being here. So here are the 7 skills. And what I've done is I've asked a different leader to take each skill and talk about each skill. Finding prospects. We absolutely have to find prospects. And for those of us that have been around a while, we have to keep reinventing ourselves with this one. In the beginning, when you have results from the program and they're visible, it's easy to find prospects, but then it gets a little bit harder as you've kind of gone through your warm market. So you need to constantly be meeting new people. So we're gonna talk to someone on finding prospects. Then we're gonna talk to someone on inviting prospects. What do you do once you find your prospects to get them to take a look? How do you present the products that you are selling? How do you follow up with your prospects? How do you get customers started? How do you get your business builders started, your distributors, and how do you promote events? All right, so first up is my dear friend, Jackie Proctor, and Jackie is local to me in Ohio. She is a mom of 3. She is a fitness instructor. She is a teacher. She is now full-time Isagenix. And she is one of our team's top enrollers. So when I thought about who could talk about finding prospects, it would be Jackie Proctor. So Jackie, if you're able to unmute, what I would love for you to do is share with everyone, where do you find these prospects? You've been with us now for a while, so maybe share a little bit of your story and share with everyone what you do to find prospects.
Sure. Okay. Thank you so much, Cindy, first of all, for having me speak on this. It's something that I am so passionate about. And I actually started Isagenix. I've been with the company for 5.5 years now. I had just had a baby, just looking to lose a little extra weight. I had done a shake before, and it really irritated my stomach. And I was looking to have, that same nutrition, but without the bellyache. And thankfully, my son's gym owner instructor, he was in competitive taekwondo, and his instructor Deb Jarvis had introduced me to Isagenix and gave us some samples, and I'm like, this stuff is amazing, sign me up, I'll do whatever it takes to get this in my body. And at the time, my husband's job had changed and things were a little different income-wise here at my house, and I was taking a little leave from my teaching job and just had a baby and, 2 young boys. And Brian's job had changed a little and we were not earning what we were the year before. And I said, listen, I'll do whatever it takes to get these products in my body. If that means that I have to, whatever, I just share with my friends. It's been super easy. So I want to share with you kind of how I started and what I encourage everyone to do, just like how I did. And I have been fortunate enough, this is my daughter, Piper, she's 6 now. I've been fortunate enough to never have to pay for my products again. And it has actually kept me home. I did go back to teaching for a year and kind of put this business on the side for a while. But gosh, I was still able to earn enough to pay for my products even then. So thank you so much again, Cindy, for having me speak on this. So yeah, the way that, and I just want to really give you guys some helpful tips, very, very practical, but it does take effort. So if you think that I'm just going to breeze by and everybody's going to ask me about my results, if you're having great results, which I'm sure you are, that's wonderful. And you'll have a time where people are going to say, what are you doing? Help. But you also have to be that one to see someone in need and to reach out to them. So you do have to be a little bold and a little brave. And that's how I've been able to just always finding new people to help. And so a few of the things I've done is, number one, you can print out your Facebook friends list. And whatever you do, please don't use the excuse of, I don't know how, because I didn't know how either. I'm a 40-something mom with kids that I can ask about technology, but guess what? There's also YouTube. So if you don't know how to do something, look it up on YouTube. So I YouTubed, how do I print out my Facebook friends? I can't tell you how I did it because I followed YouTube. So do that. And then what I did was I highlighted. And so I highlighted my friends that I knew were already on our team, already using Isagenix. And then also, I would highlight people in a different color who were, like warm leads, who I felt like these would be people I could easily approach. They're my friends. And then, you have that chicken list. So use a different color to highlight your chicken list. Okay. So that's one thing. Another thing that I always suggest is to print out Eric Worre's Ultimate Memory Jogger. And I'll type this in the chat when I'm done, but you can find it at networkmarketingpro.com/memory jogger. I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay. Also, anyone you meet, I might have to put myself on mute and yell at my kids here in a minute. Anyone you meet. So anywhere, anyone you meet, friend them on Facebook. I can remember, my husband was with a group of people that I've never, ever met before. So he used to do this ministry where he would go into the jail with a group of guys and they would minister to the guys in jail. And they did just like this get together with all the men and their wives. And I'm like, well, this is a great opportunity to meet some new people and to meet women. And so I made sure to add, talk to everybody. And then when you're done, add them on Facebook within the first 24 hours. Otherwise, it's going to seem weird and the person might not remember you. So very important, whenever you meet new people, add them on Facebook within the first 24 hours and make it a point to get out of the house and meet new people. So I've met people in Walmart down, the granola aisle. I I talk to everyone. And if it is just a conversation, that's fine. You're practicing talking to other people. Also, Facebook pages. So, Facebook pages, we have a lot of different groups. I'm going to put this on mute just for 1 second and have a talk with my kid. Hold on one. I'm so sorry.
Don't worry, Jackie. We all, many of us have kids, and this is the lovely thing about this business, you guys, is you can do it alongside your family. They can be the priority. You can do this while they're home. So I've had multiple calls that I've done with kids in the background, and, don't ever worry about that.
Woo, okay, thank you.
You good? All right.
Get hot around here. So, okay. So Facebook pages, get on a group page. If you have, I have a dog that's a Morkie, so I'm on a Morkie Facebook page. I'm on a network marketing moms page. So specific interest of yours, get on those pages and have a conversation one-on-one with those people. So that was another thing I wanted to mention was when you meet new people, message them, because the Facebook algorithm, you're not going to see, and they're not going to see your post. You want them to see what you're posting. So message them, hey, thank you so much for accepting my friend request. It was so great to meet you. I'm grateful that our paths crossed, and just go a little extra mile. And Facebook has that algorithm, then they'll see your post. So keep on that back and forth. Let's see, always be a good listener. So, you want to once you make that initial conversation, just talk about, what was your connection? So what was that? Where did you meet? Have a little bit of a conversation there, but listen to what they say, get their goals when you can finally bring Isagenix into the conversation, but learn who they are, learn about their family, learn about their kids' names. And you guys, I have a horrible memory. My kids would be the first to tell you is write it down and put it in your notes on your phone. I always started with my notes, and then I moved to Evernote. You can set an alarm to talk with people, like it'll notify you who to check in with, or Trello, that's a good one. Whatever works for you. You have to, this is a relational business. You can't just approach people like you want to sell them a product. So how many of you have been cold marketed, message, hey girl, what's up? How are you? I saw that you were blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. So probably all of us. And something PK tells us is we're not selling mascara. We're not selling whitening toothpaste. This is life-changing. And so we have to have that relationship with people. Like there is no hit them up app for your prospects. You're messaging them one-on-one, getting to know them. Does it take a little longer? Yes. But is it worth it in the long run? Absolutely. So, yeah, also there's, meetups that you can have. There's not a lot where I am locally, but you can always make your own. Church, your neighbors. So I've got so many of my neighbors that are using Isagenix because, I have just through neighborly conversation brought it up. A huge one is the gym. So when you go to the gym, wear your gear. Corey Kinnear talks about bringing a Cleanse for Life bottle, just fill it with water and drink it. And people are going to approach you. People will ask you, what is that Cleanse stuff? I've heard about that. Is that poopy cleanse? What kind? So do something so that they will be attracted to you, so that they're going to ask you, what is this that you're doing? Okay, another one is charity functions. So charities are such a good place to meet people who believe in something bigger than themselves. And that's ultimately what we want, right? And we are in it to serve and help other people. So get involved in some kind of charity, something that's bigger than you. There are tons out there. Google charities and what you are interested in. So my husband and I teamed up with a really good inner city school fundraising charity. In fact, my friend that I had just met, she contacted me today to help them with a fundraiser next month. So, those kind of things are great. Another thing is Facebook events. So you guys know you can, on your phone, in the bottom right corner, there's those 3 lines. You can find local events. And I know if you're nervous about going somewhere that you've never been, or something that might be a little different for you, do it and look at these Facebook events. It shows you friends that are going. So pick one to go to. Get out of your comfort zone, because good things never came from your comfort zone. You have to get out there. I have to tell you guys that I have suffered from being socially awkward and social anxiety growing up. People thought that I was stuck up, snobby, whatever. I was just so introverted that, I've realized through this company and through network marketing that I have to put myself out there. And what's there to lose? You gained so much from just doing that, because you have a gift and you're keeping that to yourself if you're not sharing that. So just realize through so much personal development, we have everything that you need. Just get out there, push yourself, go somewhere that makes you a little uncomfortable, have conversations. So 1 to 2 out of 10 are going to enroll. So for every 10 people that you talk with, only 1 to 2 of them are actually going to enroll with you. So how many conversations do you need to have? Keep your list, keep your not now list. Like I said, Trello or Evernote, it's great. And again, YouTube would be the place to go to learn how to do that. I am never going to be a master in anything like that, and that's okay. And be realistic. So not everybody's going to enroll with you. Don't be offended. It happens to the best of us. You just have to have a lot of conversations going. If you look at the top leaders, their sponsors have made just tons and tons of attempts to, have them join. And it's just, it's very rare that somebody says yes the first time. So don't give up. Don't think that you're less than if somebody tells you no. Just keep them on your list, because maybe you were one of those people too. I know I waited a while. And then I just wanted to end with this quote from Brian Tracy. And he says, approach each customer with the idea of helping him or her to solve a problem or achieve a goal, not of selling a product or service. So how can we help?
That's great. Jackie, that was awesome. And for those of you that maybe don't know Jackie very well, you would never in a million years know that you would think she was very outgoing. Never would you think she was socially awkward at all. So I truly believe this industry can help you in every area of your life. She is the life of the party. You'd never know that. And she'll talk to anyone. And she has so many conversations with people. That's why she's a top enroller for our team. So I hope you guys found some great tips there. Please be putting it in the chat. I actually have another device going so that I could read the chat. So next up, thanks so much, Jackie. That was awesome. Awesome.
Thank you.
Next up, I'm having slide issues here. I'm going to slide over and hand it off to Zoe. And Zoe is going to talk to you guys about inviting prospects. And the reason I asked Zoe to do this is because this is something her and Tyler work really hard on. Not only are they finding prospects and doing many, if not all of the things Jackie just suggested to you, but they do a lot of inviting people to take a look. So Zoe was the perfect person to talk about skill number 2.
Hi, guys. All right, so Jackie set me up great. She talked about some really, really great ways about how you can actually find prospects. And I love that you mentioned Facebook, and she talked about a couple other social media platforms. And so the ones that I'm specifically kind of going to touch on are people that you probably already know. And then what I'm really good at with following up is Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And so really, like, the whole point of this, I know that, like, Jackie talked great about it. She talked about how this is kind of a numbers game. So how many people are you going to need to talk to ultimately get for you to respond to, and then how many people are actually going to follow up with you, and how many people are actually going to enroll after that. And so that's why I love social media, because I can reach out and I can make 100 new connections on LinkedIn in like an hour or two. And I can send every single one of those people a message, and eventually like crunch down, like if I'm only getting 1 out of 10, then I just need to talk to more people. If you can get 3 out of 10, that's awesome. But I'm probably to get that 3 out of 10, I'm going to talk to more people than you so that I can start to get those numbers. So what I have a couple notes here. And so I was going to touch on Instagram first. So I know probably some people I know feel kind of, they might not love Instagram, and that's just one social media platform that's really worked well for me. But when I'm inviting people, we use a method called CLAM, so CLAM. And what I'm doing is I'm either using a hashtag, or I go to a really big social media person that I love, and I go to see who likes their picture. And I only CLAM people that have the pink ring around their Instagram name, because what that means is that they posted a story, and that means that they're actually active on their Instagram account. They're not like a ghost account. And so what I do when I CLAM these people is CLAM stands for comment, like, add, and message. So I go and find, I've got a whole bunch of list of people here. Let's say someone's got 1,700 likes on their picture. I go to see who likes it. I find somebody that I think I might like, and I go to their profile. I'm going to comment one on their picture. One of their pictures. It doesn't have to be like a specific one, but I'm going to comment something nice. Like it's called like the 2 cents, like leave my 2 cents. If they wrote a quote, like how did it make you feel? If they're with their boyfriend, like you can say, oh my gosh, you guys are so cute. How long have you been dating? Like just be interactive, comment, and then add them. So you're going to add them. So you're going to follow them. If they're a private account, that can be a little bit harder. But you keep on going. So I'm sorry, like is next. So you're going to like 3 pictures first. So like 3 to 5 pictures of theirs, add them, and then message them. And what I say in my message is generally something along the lines of, hey, so-and-so, I just checked out your page and I love your style, or I love your profile, or I love the way your hair is, or whatever. You are so bright and fun, and you seem like such a wonderful human being. And if there's something in common with them, I'll say it as well. Like if I'm traveling near them, I'd be like, I also just visited Hawaii, or I was also just here, or I also have curly hair or something. And then my next paragraph is, I'm working on something exciting, and I can't help but to think that you might be a great fit for it. Would you mind if I sent you a voice memo explaining a little bit more? And what that does is it opens up, not for you to like word vomit your opportunity on them, but for you just to give them, you're asking for permission to send them a voice memo of you. So they know you're a real person. And 2, they actually get to hear your opportunity from you. And I can tell you guys, like, I was so nervous. I would put this off to the end of the day because I hated doing this. I hated doing the voice memo, hated hearing my own voice. And I would stumble over my words, and you're going to do that in the first few times. But and what I would do in my voice memo, I would just tell them my story. I would tell them about, so I went to nursing school, and I used to have a horrible health condition, and I was introduced to these products, and it gave me relief, and it also helped me get my products for free, and it gave me a part-time income, and I'm looking for more women who are like me, who want more out of life, and who are looking for a part-time income and maybe a full-time income even eventually. And you seem like someone who would be really great. Would you mind, getting on a Zoom call with me and chatting with me about it? And I've sent a lot of these out, like hundreds, probably thousands. Not everybody's going to respond, and that's okay. But anybody that says yes to you, the voice memo, is going to go on your list for following up. They might not follow up after you do the voice memo, and that's okay. But that's my general format for Instagram. I think it's a really good way to give yourself a human connection on a platform that's so based on text and pictures. Because it's the next best thing to video, which is kind of weird to video a stranger. So that's why I really like the voice memo. So that's what I love doing on Instagram. And then I love that Jackie talked about Facebook groups, because that was another great one. I've done a lot of engagement on entrepreneur women focus groups. There's I'm a nurse, so I found nurse entrepreneur groups, and I found millennial entrepreneur groups and holistic health women entrepreneur groups. And so if you're already in like a group that's already focused on business and they're open to another opportunity, there's a lot better chance for you to share your opportunity and people actually be interested in it. And so what I've done on Facebook groups is I'm either, as soon as I join these Facebook groups, there's a couple tips I can at least give to you guys for when you're inviting people, but it's you're creating, you want to create action on the group. So if you're added to a group within the first week, try and make 1 to 3 posts because it gives you like a certain badge, and that means your profile posts are likely to go higher. And then what you see a lot on these groups is there's people joining because they're looking for opportunities. So literally in this nurse entrepreneurs group I have that I'm in, people are like, hey, I'm looking to start a health and wellness company business from home. Do you guys have any suggestions? And I literally post my story. I say, hi, my name is Zoe. I'm 24 years old. I'm a retired nurse. I was able to pay my student loans off through an amazing network marketing opportunity that is based in holistic health. I've been able to do this, this, and this. And I've helped this, and this many people. If you'd like some more information, please feel free to DM me. And not only is the person who asked that question going to see that, but anybody who goes to this entire group is going to see my post as well, because people read comments. So not usually one person will maybe reply, but I'm getting 20 responses from everybody else in that group because I'm posting about my opportunity in a group that's already open to networking, and people want to know more about it. Whether they're now another company or not. And so that's kind of like, that opens the door for me to send them information. And so what I will do is once I have all of those people, I'll send them a voice memo again, because I'm really big on voice memos. I think it's really good for people to hear your voice. And I'll say, hi, so-and-so, I'm really glad to connect from you. In the Nursepreneurs group, I saw that you'd like some more information on my business. That's awesome. What I'd like to do is send you a quick video that explains our products and also explains our business. And if you watch that, and after that, I'll follow up with you in a couple days to see what you thought. If it's something that is really urgent and you're really excited, you can feel free to message me here, and we can actually schedule an urgent Zoom call if it's something that you feel like is really pressing. And so that's basically what I'll do. And guys, I'm telling you, those are really, really great, especially if you're in these entrepreneur groups, because people come to you and you don't have to feel really awkward, sending your opportunity video out to people. So that one has worked really well as well. And then on LinkedIn, I know that Cindy's done a great training on our team call with Scott Aaron. If you guys have not seen it, I just recommend you do that, because that's exactly what I've been doing. So it's somewhere on one of our HHP for wealth calls, but I do the LinkedIn thing. So I'm literally adding, I try and do 50 to 100 new connections a day if I don't get blocked. And I'm trying to send at least 25 to 50 messages on LinkedIn out. And it's me, literally, I send a message to every single person. I know that Cindy's a little bit more specific. She only sends messages out to women, and she wants to kind of attract her avatar, which is totally fine. But I'm literally just sending them out to anybody, and I'm getting on calls with anybody who wants to get on calls with me. And I'm saying something along the lines of, hey, so-and-so, it's nice to meet you. I came across your profile. I really like what you do. I am looking to expand my network, and I would love to learn more about you and your business, share more about what I do, and see if there's room for us to collaborate. Would you be open to getting on a 15-minute call with me to get to know each other, kind of deal? I've had a total of 15 calls this week, and it's Thursday. Most of them are from LinkedIn. I think 5 were from Facebook. And honestly, I just have a lot more success there, and it's a lot easier to invite people who are already open to the opportunity. You're on LinkedIn because you're looking for an opportunity or you're looking to network. And so it just goes a lot more smoother. Your prospects are a lot more qualified. Oh, I don't know how to get that up. Sorry. But yeah, so that's pretty much what I have in terms of inviting. Warm market. I know that I use for the warm market in terms of text. I just do the say, share, do stuff that Isagenix puts in the Isolite Success Planner. So that's pretty much all I do in terms of warm market and people that I'm already Facebook friends with. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I have there. I know that let's see if we can do file zoom here. Oh.
We're here. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
All right. Hang on before you leave. So you guys, just so you know what's been going on here in Michigan. So we were actually on a boat last night because in the water we have cell phone coverage if we're in the middle of the lake. It was hysterical. We had Zoe on one end talking to, was that a LinkedIn?
No, she was a grade school friend,
okay,
actually.
All right. So we're not even, yeah. So she has other forms of inviting prospects too, but she's on the phone talking to her grade school friend, getting all of her information to get her enrolled. She is not even done yet. Tyler's on the other end of the boat. Guys, this isn't a yacht. It's a little boat that pulls a tube. And Tyler's on the phone with someone from Taiwan and someone from Ohio, and they're Zooming. So, the more inviting you do, the more finding your prospects, the more inviting you do, the more conversations you will be able to have. People will talk to you. And we are reaching out to complete strangers on LinkedIn, and it's working. And I have found a business builder who enrolled a top leader in another network marketing company, and this could blow up for me. So it works. We're not telling you this because of any other reason than we want you to try these things, implement some things, maybe make some simple tweaks and changes, because these things work. Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks, Cindy.
All right, guys. Next up, we have Tiffany Keller, and Tiffany is so kind. I contacted her as she's traveling all over and jet lagged and all. She said, yes, I'd love to share. And I asked Tiffany to talk to you guys about skill number 3, presenting, because she too is a great presenter and a great enroller for our team and one of our top leaders. Most everyone that you're hearing from tonight is in our top 20 income earners in our whole entire organization. So these are people with a lot of skills and a lot of years of experience. And guys, we've all made a lot of mistakes, but this is the thing. What sets successful people apart are the ones that can make their mistakes over and over again, learn from them, not making the same mistake twice, learn from them, but never be afraid to fail forward and try new things. And LinkedIn is a new thing that I was so scared about. We were just talking about this the other night, and he remembered my first call and how, even though I've been in this industry for years, how nervous I was and how awful I sounded on my first call and then my second call. And now I'm to the point where it just rolls off my tongue, and it's gotten so much easier. But Tiffany, if you can unmute, I would love for you to share with everyone a little bit about how do you go about presenting once you've found your prospects, you've invited them. What's next, and how do you go about presenting?
Okay, thanks so much, Cindy. And thank you all for being here today. So yes, as far as presenting, there are various methods, of course, and it really kind of depends on how you got the lead. Obviously, that's going to depend on what you're going to present. But for the most part, I think most of us are attracting people that are looking for some kind of health solution. So I'll just start there. And as I do a lot of my lead generation from Facebook, that I'm not going to lie, most of it does come from there. So the first thing I try to do, and I would highly recommend, is to get them on the phone. If you can get them on the phone right away, that is the best thing, so that you can ask them exactly what they're looking for. And one of the questions that I ask first are, what are the top 1 or 2 things they would love to see changed about their health? And this is when somebody has reached out to me asking, maybe they saw a transformation and they said, what did she do? I would love to be able to get those results too. So I'll say, can you hop on the phone for a quick few minutes? So I will ask them, what are the top 2 things that you would like to see changed about your health, so that I can really speak to them about what they're looking for and not try to guess. So, because a lot of times it's not weight loss. I seem to attract a lot of people that are looking for energy, or for looking to, just healthy aging or things like that. So I can really talk to them and then have the discussion. I always go back to our PK Smith training, and that's, don't be weird. Like, it's just a conversation. So if you start off with that, you can then keep the ball rolling as to, finding out just, okay, well, they want to change, their energy. What are they experiencing now? When do they feel that they have low energy? Is it all throughout the day? Is it just in the afternoon? And then I go on to ask them questions about what they're doing now for their health. What are they eating? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks? Really get down to the specifics of what exactly they are doing right now, so that I can find that pain point, find out what it needs to be, or, can be changed. Can I help? Can Isagenix help? Of course, I think Isagenix can help everybody, but, I want to find out, is this going to be a good fit And I also ask, how serious are they about changing their health? On a scale of 1 to 10, how serious are they? Because if they are not that serious, I have turned down people. I have said, you know what, this might not be for you. We really need somebody that is serious about changing. Now, if they're just looking for, maybe some good shakes because they're doing some other shakes now, they don't like them so much or want to try something different, that's fine. But of course, we're looking for the people that really do want to change something and make it a lifestyle, because we are a lifestyle company, not just a one hit wonder type of thing for their next, on their next venture. We want them to stay with us. So we want to find out how serious they are about that as well. So that is my first goal, is to get them on the phone. And then, like it has already been mentioned, a lot of times they're not going to say yes on the first try, the first time talking to them, which is definitely normal, not weird. So the next step would be to use our tools and show them either a video that speaks to what they're talking about, what they've been asking for. And also, I can't say enough about our HHP group. Plugging them into that HHP group is just priceless. When we started that several years ago, it just made all the world of difference. So if you are not using our HHP group now, I highly, highly recommend it, because plugging them in so that they can see the videos, that's great. But all the other things that come with it, so that they see the community, our positive community that we have, that is priceless. It's just, a lot of people, they might not even realize they're looking for that, but that is going to help them with the support and everything they need to achieve whatever goals they're, seeking. And people love to be part of a positive community. They're looking for that. And then of course the follow-up. I can't tell you how many times that I had somebody that, I'll be honest, I might have forgotten about, because they just said no so many times. Like I followed up maybe 20 times. And that does happen with some people. And then all of a sudden they're just ready. It's that timing. And they reached out to me, even though I haven't reached back to them in about 6 months. But that's also because I've been consistently posting in HHP so that they are seeing that. So I'm not going to get too much into follow-up, because we do have a section on that. But I just wanted to show the importance of HHP using as a tool as far as presenting, because they will see a lot of things in there that either you're posting because you're presenting that to them in that manner, or what other people are posting. So it's a great way to present things and not necessarily have to do all the work yourself. You're leveraging everybody that we have in this team. So I can't say enough about HHP and plugging them into that. And even if they say yes on the very first time that you talk to them, of course, you still are going to plug them into HHP. So the other part of presenting is, there are some times where somebody reaches out and you can tell from the way they're reaching out is they just kind of want some information. They're just kind of shopping around. If they don't want to get on the phone right away, that kind of thing, then I will invite them to go into HHP, and I will tag them in our welcome video, just like following the procedure that we all follow, and make sure that they are seeing the videos. But, and again, we'll get into follow-up, but making sure that they're seeing that and following up with them. So that's another way, is just to, sometimes people are not serious enough, or maybe just don't have the time right now to get on the phone right away. And if they, well, let me just back up. If they don't have the time to get on the phone the right way, I'm going to try to get an appointment with them. So if for some reason it's just not working out, that we can't get on the phone in a timely manner, I'm going to plug them into HHP. I also will send them a video separately that I might really want to make sure that they see. And it also is giving that extra touch, so that you are doing that. So those are ways that I am presenting the information. And then of course we cannot forget doing sip and samples. So that is an important thing as far as presenting sip and samples. And there are all different kinds of sip and samples you can do. I know that Lisa Maciel, she's great at doing the smoothie bowls, and those are, and I'll be honest, I haven't tried that yet, but I definitely have that on my list to do soon. But you can, I've been doing a lot more like kind of like healthy happy hours, just make it very casual, just allow people to come, have a drink, because again, this is a lifestyle if they choose to have that, just making it really casual, and then just doing a short little presentation. And I love to have other people there that are already using Isagenix there to help share their stories if possible. So that is a great way to present what we have, and again, allow them to see a positive community. If you have multiple people there, they're going to be able to chat with other people, because not everybody is going to relate to you per se, but they will relate to somebody that's there, just like our HHP community. Maybe they won't relate to you, but they will relate to somebody that's in that community. So presenting, but plugging them into some type of community is so, so important. So hope that helps.
That was awesome. And I think the importance here, guys, is you just have to be presenting. So some people, I talked to someone, gosh, I think it was this morning, and they were asking me all about LinkedIn in these calls, and it was not something they were really interested in doing. And I said, that's fine. I said, I needed to do something differently. I was to the point where everyone on Facebook knows what I do. I really needed to meet new people. So it was just time for me to do something differently. That doesn't mean you have to do that, but you have to be presenting to someone. So if you're more comfortable having people in and doing sip and samples, that's great. We've done so many fun parties. We've done crock pot parties, healthy snack ideas. We did salads in the jar, like making salads in the jars. People need to know other healthy snacks and meal ideas. That's usually a hindrance, and people love recipes and ideas. So it doesn't matter how you present, one-on-one, in coffee shops, over the phone, through direct messages. It just matters that you're doing it. So figure out what you need to do and get it done. Don't think about it. Don't get ready to do it. Don't plan out a new strategy. Just get into action and present as much as you possibly can. Make sure you are having, PK Smith always says, 5 hours of enrolling conversations a week. So that means you have to be talking to a lot of people. Okay, so awesome, Tiffany. Thank you so much. That was great.
And Cindy, I just wanted to add one thing, because I just thought of that as far as presentations, is also the virtual presentations. I know it's not possible for everybody to have a sip and sample live. And if not, the virtual presentations are just amazing. And there is training in our ISA for Wealth. If you haven't seen a virtual presentation, or virtual sip and sample, or whatever you want to call it, virtual party. So, but those are a great way to also present. So I just didn't want to leave that one out.
Yeah, I'm so glad you did, because we have a lot of people too that maybe live rurally. Maybe they don't have another leader near them. Maybe they're, a little nervous to do a presentation, and doing it on a Zoom is much more comfortable for them, at least at first. So absolutely, that's a great way to do it. And you can do Facebook events also. That's another great virtual way to do it. So absolutely, great ideas. All right, now we're going to talk about following up. And Tiff touched a little bit on this. And guys, you hear it over and over again at events that the fortune is in the follow up. And Sarah Farnsworth, another local gal to me in Ohio, I found her through IsaPulse. So I hope you all have IsaPulse downloaded on your phone. And I hope you're recognizing people. You can recognize your 4PET every time they enroll someone, every time they rank advance. You can't even send them messages every time they sign up for the ISA Body Challenge or Healthy Mind and Body. But it's a great way for you to have a pulse on your business. That's why it's called IsaPulse. And that's how I found Sarah. I kept sending her messages. Hi, this is Cindy Walter with Isagenix. Congratulations on your enrollment, over and over again. And finally, I'm like looking her up to see where she was in my tree after like the 5th or 6th enrollment. And here she was enrolling people all down one side, because she didn't know, she really wasn't trying to build a business. So I said, hey, would you like to come over for coffee? She was working full-time as a hairdresser, helping her husband in his business, 3 small children. had no extra time to squeeze me in, but she did. And we've become dear, dear, dear friends. Love working with her. So Sarah, if you would please unmute, let's hear your story and all of your tips and tricks on how to follow up, because you really do follow up until they enroll.
Thank you, Cindy. I thank God every day for making me come to your house that day.
Me too.
Definitely the best decision of my life. Yeah, so I really believe that following up is just good customer service. And that is something that I brought with me from being a hairdresser. It was really important for me to follow up, do a good job, and invite those people back so that they kept spending money and kept paying my bills. So I brought that with me to this business. And I really think that people are afraid to follow up with people for fear that they might not say yes, or they might say no, or they might ghost you. But here's what I'm here to tell you. Like, you don't necessarily have to constantly be nagging them or asking them, hey, do you want to take a look again? If you've sent information and you've invited them to our Facebook page and they know that that's what you do, your follow-up can simply be, hey, how are you? What's new in your life? You can also just go to their Facebook page and comment on their post, like and comment, and continuously keep doing that and keep creating that conversation, create that relationship with those people. Because I'm going to tell you that this year especially, I was having lots of enrollments, and some of the people I was enrolling this year, I talked to when I very first started. They've been on my list forever, and I never took them off. I kept asking and asking, and sometimes I got no response, you guys, and I still kept sending a new message because I feel obligated to share this opportunity with people because I know that I can change people's lives. And I was listening to some statistics about following up, and they say that 48% of all businesses do not follow up at all. Think about it. When you go into a retail store, they don't even have your name and number. They don't know who you are. They can never follow up with you. So you have to make the decision that you are going to follow up with every single person and never take them off your list. And that's how, we want to create new conversations all the time and keep talking to new people, but we need to be able to go back and make those touches. PK tells us all the time, it's 4 to 6 touches over 4 to 6 months. And honestly, I have people come to me and say, oh, people aren't enrolling. Well, I only talked to them once. And I say, guys, think about it. Even generally speaking, most of us took how long to get started? I was having products brought to me for a good 6 months before I finally said yes. I talked to one of my new enrollments. She's having a hard time getting people started, and she just can't believe it. And I'm like, remember, I talked to you in February, you enrolled in June. So it's 4 to 6 touches over 4 to 6 months. And your touches don't need to be nagging or persistent or asking, are you ready to get started now? You can just say, how are you feeling? How's your family? Check in with them. Say, I'm just checking in, wanted to see how you're doing, because people take a long time to decide about their health. It's very personal, and they have to know you, like you, and trust you to allow you to be that part of their life. Because a lot of times, like Tiffany said, they're not really ready yet, and it's in their time, not our time. So we have to remember that. So the other statistic I want to share with you is 25% only make 2 contacts and then they give up. So maybe you go back and follow up twice and then you give up. And then they say 8 to 10 of them, it takes 8 to 10 touches before one person finally signs up. So that tells you that it's really, really important to keep following up. So you wonder, Sarah, okay, what do I say? How do I do this? I actually made friends list on Facebook, so it was easy for me to go and find the people that I wanted to make sure I was touching on, because just like Jackie and Tiffany said, you print out your friends list, you highlight the really hot people, then you go and you have your chicken list people, and maybe those are the people that you just don't necessarily want to reach out to, but you want to kind of just highlight on. So Facebook allows you from a computer to create a friends list so that you can literally name the friends list. So say, for instance, my high school graduating class, I have all those people in one list, and it'll take me to all of their pages so that I can like and comment pretty quickly. So it doesn't have to be a long drawn out process. But I am a person who I really like belly to belly. I like being in front of people. One thing that really works for me might not work for everybody. I wear tank tops. because people are like, oh my gosh, how do you have arms like that? And they think it's spending hours in the gym, but it's really because I have great nutrition. So I always, like they said, carry my shaker bottle around, wear my Isagenix gear. And my answer is always, it's what I eat, not what I do. And one thing we want to remember too, 79% of your follow-ups might never enroll, but that last 8 to 10%, 11% might be the person that's going to change your entire business. And it's not going to benefit you if you never open your mouth and let them know what's open for them to do. So I think that's all I have for you.
That's great. And how many times is too many to follow up with someone, Sarah? I get that question all the time. How many times do you follow up with someone?
Forever. I mean, I've only been doing this 4 years, but I'm telling you, there's still people that when I started prospecting them, and they are enrolling now 4 years later. So I haven't ever stopped.
And for those of us that have been around maybe even longer than Sarah, how many of you guys have had people re-enroll? Maybe they started the program, they didn't have the right mindset, they gave up, they had an excuse or two or 100 why this wasn't the right timing for them, and then they come back around. I'm getting ready to enroll someone for the 4th time in 7 years. 4th time. So that's why following up and always being consistent too. When you are consistent and you're showing up every single day on social media, you're liking and commenting and staying in touch with people, not just writing them off if they stop using your products. When you're consistent and then the light bulb goes off, or maybe something's changed in their life. We hear every 90 days people's life situation changes. They're going to come back to you because you've never given up on them. You've always followed up with them, and you're still there and you're still consistent. So that's why Sarah is so good at what she does, because she doesn't give up on people and she keeps following up with them until. So that was awesome. Thanks so much, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Okay, guys. Moving on to skill number 5, getting customers started. So just so you know, we're going to be doing 2 different things here. Allie's going to be talking about more of our client that's coming on for health reasons. And then next, we're going to be talking about getting our business builders started. So Allie's going to come on, and Allie, I would love for you to share what you do once you found your prospects and you've done all the legwork. Now they've said, yes, Allie, I'm ready to get started. I want you to coach me. I would love you to walk us through what you do with new people to offer them great customer service.
Absolutely. Thank you. And you guys, thank you so much to everybody who's presented so far. Like, I'm notes after notes. You guys are giving me so many great things. This is why you always come to every single event, no matter how long you've had your business, is because you're always learning something new, and it's so exciting. Here's the thing about this. I mean, when you think about what we are presenting to people, a solution for their health, they could easily, and we know why we love Isagenix, but they could easily go to GNC, they could easily go to Target, they could easily go to Walmart and get some sort of product that they believe is equivalent anywhere. But here's the thing, the difference is that the support that you give them. I've never had Target contact me to follow up about it. Like Sarah said, businesses don't follow up. I've never had Target say, hey, what kind of results did you get from that lotion you bought last week? Never. And it builds trust. You guys, this is for most people about weight loss. Yeah, there's other people who come, but wouldn't you agree that the majority of people who come to us are looking for a weight loss solution or to improve something about their health that has gotten away from them because of a lifestyle choice or many lifestyle choices? You guys, don't forget that this is an emotional thing. It's not just buying a product and then it's a magical solution to it. This is emotional, and providing that support means everything about their success and, of course, of retaining them as a client. So it makes the difference, builds trust. So before I get off the enrollment call, usually I will say I'm doing a lot more recommended carts right now because people really like the convenience of that. But if I'm on an enrollment call with them, before I get off of that call even, I'm scheduling a welcome call. I'm going to talk about many different connections, and before that connection or that touch is over, we're already talking about doing the next call so that they know that I'm there to support them, but it doesn't get away from anybody in a busy schedule. So scheduling the welcome call, I'm sharing with them our team website. You guys, it is such a beautiful, I hope everyone on this call is using the ownyourlifeacademy.biz website, because it's such a wealth of information. Yes, today I'm talking about people who are coming for health solutions, but there's a whole section. Don Bosenko did an amazing job on this, putting this website together. And there's a whole section there. Beauty, they might go to that section and then look at the rest and be inspired by what's there. But there's so much good stuff from them there. HHP, if they're on Facebook, I'm letting them know if they're not already added that I'm going to add them to that. I'm already talking to them about the IsaBody challenge because I want them to get credit for their purchase that day so that they know about that. And I'm talking to them about the IsaLife app and reminding them that they're going to get some information, they can download that, and it'll be a useful tool. I don't have to go into huge descriptions about this because, as you'll see, I'm going to repeat a lot of things. Why is it repetitive? Again, this is an emotional thing. People are excited. They might be nervous. They might be overwhelmed. They're not going to take in everything that you share with them the first time that you tell them. So there is a lot of repetition in getting your customers started. Okay, so as soon as that we're off the call, then I'm sending them their welcome text or their email that is again going to review the IsaBody challenge and how to get enrolled in that, the IsaLife app, and of course our team website so that they can go there and get all the information they need. If they're not already in HHP, I add them to that. But for the other people who've already added, I go back to the master post. You guys did such a beautiful job putting that together. And you just go into the search engine and search #masterpost and come up with everything that people need to have for support. Why do I do this 2 different ways? Because I want to cover whatever is most convenient for that person. So it might be the phone call. They might look at HHP. They might take the initiative and click on the links in the text. We don't know. We just want to cover it all. And so I can go in there and especially hit the parts about what to expect in the first 30 days, because not everybody, I don't want it to be a surprise when they have some detox symptoms, when their belly isn't processing the shake right because they don't normally eat protein. I don't ever want that to be a surprise, but we're going to come back and talk to that, about that part. So moving on from that, then we get to our welcome call. You guys, I really prefer this to be a Zoom call if possible because of the things that I want to share with them via a shared screen. So at this time, I review their goals. So I think it was Tiffany was saying, she asked, what are 1 or 2 things that she'd like to change about their health? Definitely. It's such a great question. And you guys, it's not just, okay, check the list, move on. This is where I really dig deep. Okay, so you wanted to lose 65 pounds. Tell me about that. Why is that important? What's going to change in your life when you hit your goal? What are some things you're not able to do right now that you're going to be able to do then? Hey, what's a special occasion coming up for you? And I'm just really digging into all of those things so that I can find the pain point, yes, but help get the buy-in by helping them envision what their life is going to be like then. Because we know, yes, this is a lifestyle, but what happens? Sometimes life happens and people kind of fall out. So you want them to really be focused on the why. And that number, if it's weight loss, is never the why. It's the representation of the real why. I really want to be able to stay, have enough energy to keep up with my kids or my grandkids, or I really want to feel comfortable when I'm out on dates or on vacation with my husband. It's really about the confidence. It's really about how people feel. It's never really about the number. And you're only going to get to that if you are asking lots of deep questions and really validating what they're telling you and getting really, really curious about how you can best support them. Okay, so those questions, so important, visioning, and then reviewing again the things that they have at their fingertips, their tools for support. Again, the IsaLife app, HHP, letting them know that they have been added and tagged to those things, the team website. I review all of that. I know that's a 3rd time, but you guys, there's a lot of times people are like, oh gosh, I guess I did see something about that, but they never did anything. It's okay, it's overwhelming. Speaking of that, then I talk a little bit more about connection, what to expect. But here's something that's really important, you guys. If you can take something, whenever you're coaching somebody, if you can do a little bit of language shift to, you might feel, okay? It's our normal reaction to say, don't feel overwhelmed, don't feel like you're bugging me, Don't feel like you're a failure. But when we say to people, don't feel a certain way, they might not think of it. Subconsciously, it puts up a wall where they're not going to share things with you because you just told them feeling that way was wrong. What we want them to know is that some of the things that they experience might not always be positive, and it's completely normal, so that they know that they can come to you. So you might say, you might feel overwhelmed. You might have a point where you feel really stressed out and you feel like giving up. You might feel, some of it might be physical stuff. You might feel like your belly hurts more, you have these detox symptoms, and you think something is wrong. All of that is normal. And I want you to feel free to tell me about it. I want to hear about the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I say some people, when life happens, they feel like they might want to avoid talking to me because they feel embarrassed or ashamed or that they're letting me down. I want you to know that I'm here to support you through the good and the bad. And so if I reach out to you and you're avoiding me, I'm not going to take it personally. It happens, but know that you don't have to, because I'm not here to judge you. I'm only here to support you every step of the way. Okay, so letting them know that is so important. It's just a little verbal shift that really means everything. And I really do. So when I'm asking questions too about, okay, what have you been doing up until now? You know, I go back through, what have you been eating? How do you feel? What do you think has not been working for you in the past? And I'm learning more about that. So if I have somebody who's telling me, oh, I just eat salads and no snacks and that sort of thing, I'm going to know if they're not eating protein. Here, I want you to know this. You're going to be eating a lot more protein than you're used to. You might have some belly problems. You might feel this. You might not. But if you do, I want you to tell me so I can help provide solutions and recommendations for you. You want to get out in front of all those things that might make them kind of just avoid you. Okay. I also on that call, and I already said this a little bit, but talking about the IsaBody, this is so important because this is an opportunity to talk about the importance of the non-scale victories. So we can get really too focused, or our clients can get really, really focused on the number. And I want to get ahead of that too. And I want to tell them, you're going to be eating more protein than you have in the past. You're going to be losing fat. You're going to be building lean muscle tissue. And that's not something that you're going to see on the scale. That's why the IsaBody challenge is so important. That's why the pictures are important. That's why you want to take your measurements, because that's where you're going to see the results. And here's the other thing. I love, and I bring up Mary Van Houten on my team. One of my favorite things that she's said in our 3-way welcome calls is she says, I don't care if I ever lose another pound. I want to feel this way for the rest of my life. And she talks about her energy, how much easier and happy she is connecting with her family, how more present she is because she feels good and our relationships have changed and improved. It's, again, not about the number. And so I talk to them about, keep a diary, keep a journal of all the other things that you might not necessarily think of. This is when I normally need a coffee, or this is when I would go for my Red Bull and I didn't need it. This is how I got out of bed. Help them shift their mind from the number to all the non-scale things that are really going to make the difference. And then I do a quick back office orientation. So, you know, I take them into their back office. I show them just really quick, you know, if they haven't done IsaBody Challenge, here's where they do it, what these buttons mean across the top. The most important, where I spend the most time, I guess I should say, is then in their lifestyle rewards. So I take them back through there, make sure that they know how to make the edits that they want, and then I make sure that I take them to the portion that says add products to AutoShip. This is a great opportunity to help to connect with some of the things that they shared with you during the call. So I'm going to talk again about grocery reallocation, because there's so many. How many of you guys have ever had somebody stop because they're like, I've got so many shakes that I can't order anything else, and they've never ordered anything but their 30-day system over and over and over again, and they bought shakes, they fell off. You guys, there's so much more to try. So I asked them, do you drink coffee? You told me you had kids in sports. They normally drink Gatorade or Powerade. All these things that they've shared with me, I can combine into product recommendations, okay? If they're talking about energy, I can talk about the eShots if they didn't get that. Excuse me. if for some reason they didn't start with a pack that has Ionix or Cleanse, I'm always going to talk about, okay, so you shared, you know, that you have a really high stress life right now. This is something I know you're going to want to try next month. So I'm making these different product recommendations based on what they've already shared with me about their personal life and their needs. And then I bounce back to the cart and I talk to them about their BV, why we have BV, what that means, quickly, what are the benefits. And I don't go into a huge detail, but it leads me right easily into asking this great question that I learned from Cindy. You know, that people handle referrals in 3 ways. And I ask them, you know, you might be number 1, where you have a great product experience and you want to send referrals to me and I'll happily take them. Number 2, you might want to take those referrals and help get your products paid for. And I need to tell you this because I'm obligated to tell you this. You can get your products paid for and plus more. So number 3, you know, you may, and this is great if they've already shared with me different financial concerns or other things in their life. You know, you've shared with me that things are really tight for you right now. Number 3, you might be open to, or how open would you be to exploring some of the income opportunity that we have here that I'd be happy to help you with. It's actually what I'm most passionate about. So I have them label themselves as 1, 2, or 3, and that'll kind of tell me where to go from there. So if they're a 2 or a 3, I'm definitely drawing out the you share, they share, and showing them how to get their products paid for right away so they already know, and helping them identify who to talk to first, and referring them back to the team website, and having them look at that and scheduling a next call to follow up about that. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. Somebody else is going to give amazing information about that. So I wanted to refer to you guys. Some of this stuff might be in the new client checklist. I'm going to admit to you that because I've had my own system for so long, I don't have that, but I don't use it, but I know it's really been improved and it's great. So if you need a piece of paper to follow with this, check out the new client checklist in the Isagenix business tools. It'll cover so much of this. And then just support through the first month. I make sure that they are contacting me when they get their first box. Send me a text. If they want to have an open the box call, you know, then we're going to schedule that and do that. And make sure that they have a handy schedule for their shake days, for their cleanse days, if applicable. And then how do I keep in touch with them those first 30 days? Definitely the first couple days as they're starting their shakes, seeing how they're digesting them, seeing how they're feeling. You guys, sometimes we have people that, again, feel overwhelmed and they tell a story in their head that they didn't have time to make the shake. And so I talked to them about that, about, you know, yeah, just the solutions of prepping the night before, but that's a great opportunity to talk about how are they afraid? Are they fearful? A lot of times it's the fear of making the change or the discomfort of making the change in their schedule, not really about the time. And I'll say that. Would you agree that you probably have 30 seconds, but it's really making the change in your morning schedule that trips you up? And they'll say, yes, I'll do it. You know, so addressing that. Their first cleanse day, I'm on top of them on those days. Back on day 7, we're doing a celebration call and talking about all the changes they're experiencing so far. Another great time to ask if there are people who've been giving them compliments, people that they thought of that they'd like to share this gift with. Same thing on day 14. And then we talk again about, you know, with that during that week prior to their next order, so that I can help take them through what they want in their next order. And at that point, I love to ask the question, what does support look like for you moving forward? Because some people want to talk to me weekly still in a quick message, and some people, you know, don't want to be contacted at all, or just maybe once a month. So I get that information from them.
That's awesome. That was such great customer service, guys. I hope you have as many notes as I do. I hope that you loved her verbiage, and I hope you wrote that down. Some of the things you said, you might feel overwhelmed. Those are great ways to word things, and preparing people for deception, because those of you that have done Healthy Mind and Body, you know that can happen. So the better prepared your clients are, and the better the customer service you give them, the better the results are going to be. And also the thing I was so glad you shared, Allie, because I didn't ask you to share this, and it was great, is you guys all heard her plant the seeds of the business, even though this is a client, this is a customer, this is not someone that came in for the business, but she still so beautifully just snuck that in there. So she opened their mind to loyalty rewards and referral rewards. So very well done. That was great. Thank you for sharing, Allison.
Thank you.
All right. And Lori, I'm going to have Lori Olson unmute next. And Lori is one of our top leaders on the team. She is someone that I love because she's always got great new ideas. She's always willing to change things up. She is the one responsible for getting all of us to do the HHP page to begin with. So I'm so glad Allison talked about that, and that Tiffany did too. And what she's also so great at is getting business people started. So she really does a great job casting the vision of what is possible. So I asked her to talk more about, even though she's good at the other things, to talk more about the people that are interested in the business and what do you do maybe a little bit differently for those people. So Lori, thank you for being with us tonight.
You guys are all amazing. This is awesome.
It is so awesome. I'm so excited.
You all did great. I have notes for every single person. So that's probably one of the biggest things to learn as a seasoned leader, no matter where you're at, is that you continue learning and, like Cindy said, evolving, you know, learning through her son that's very new to this, but doing amazing things and helping her be better. You know, so I think that's awesome. We're all learning those things. I know I've seen in the chat a little bit, you guys all have these great systems and words and verbiage. So it might be great if people have these things pre-documented, that we can maybe put something together after this, because I get that they might be a little overwhelmed with all of these ideas. And a lot of things that Allie went through, I know we have documented on a, you know, if you're going to do a welcome call, and you could change it and make it your own, but I know that everyone would probably appreciate that. So we can try and work on a few of those things at the end. And I know this is recorded too, so that will help. Okay, so it's a little bit different depending on if this person comes in saying, I want to do the business, I'm here for the products in the business, or you're at the slow conversion rate of getting a customer to become a distributor. So that's what I'm going to talk about. The first one, the customer to the distributor, because that's the most common probably that we see. And I know that's the biggest struggle people have, is conversion from customer to, well, Eric Worre calls it distributor, as we would call it associate, you know, business builder type person. And I totally get the struggle, you guys, because I had it so much in the beginning. And as I've grown, not that every single person becomes a consultant or beyond on my team, but it is so much, and you'll hear this over and over again when you go to conferences, and I'm sure you already have, it is your posture. It is your posture about you being confident in knowing that this is awesome, and we would want to get everyone get their products paid for. So even though they almost all, we come in as a customer first, even if they want to do the business, they need to have a strong product experience. So when they come in as a customer, Allie kind of touched on this, that I have found so much more success since I started doing welcome calls. I didn't always do those in the beginning. I just kind of did things one at a time. I worked with my people, but probably the biggest thing is I've been able to show my personally enrolled or team members kind of how to do it by them shadowing, because I spent so much time, which we should, teaching people on my team calls and stuff, that this is how, you know, all of us have, this is what you say, these are the questions I ask them, these are the strategies to build a consultant. But so many people they're just not doing it. That's all there is to it, no matter how many suggestions we give. But guess what happens when they have a new customer and they say, okay, set up a welcome call. I will lead the welcome call with you. And then you ask the questions and you do it. Be the leader. That's really the difference that I've seen make, is rather than teaching them, show them. And so when we would get on, I'd go through the whole welcome call with them. Allison does the exact same thing. Some of our other leaders do too. Some of my people now, we don't do them forever. I tell them minimal 5 welcome calls I will do with you. And then I have an outline and they go with it, but they need to shadow first. It's not just the words that are on the page, it's how you say it. So we go through and empower them. I tell them the welcome calls are there to empower them. go through a lot of the things that Ali already talked about. But then we really hit on switching over to associate, because she talked about the banked BV and everyone, it deserves that. And then asking them the question, would you like to get started on finding your first 2 people so you can get that $150 plus if there's PIBs involved, okay? So my goal is to help you do that. Are you ready to do that today? Would you like to send some messages out to some people or put up a Facebook post? I have templates for you for both, and I will help you. I can even write the post for you. So on that welcome call, ask the question. Tell yourself you will ask the question. If you are skipping it, guilty, did that in the beginning, no one's going to do it. Would that make sense? If we ask no one does it. If we ask everyone, some will do it. So if they say on the call, here's probably the most common response. I want to get started on the products first myself, and then I might, if I like it, I probably will. That's what they say. That's actually a good response, right? If I like it, then I probably will. Don't say it's a business. Just say, are you open to these referral bonuses? So you say, no problem. I totally understand. You can either start now and find some great accountability partners because you'll be more successful doing it together. Or we're going to talk all the time. We'll be talking to you a few days. We'll see how you're feeling. You guys are going to feel great within a week. And when you start hearing those reviews, anything positive, you can loop back around again, right? To what you said. Oh my gosh, I am thrilled. I knew you guys' posture. I knew you would love it. I am so happy that you decided to do this. I knew this is how you would feel. I'm so glad that you told me that. Do you know how many people would absolutely love to have those same results and feel the way you do? I would love, when we help you find 2, remember, I can help you get over $150 if we do it this month. Are you ready for me to help you? Keep telling them you're going to help them. Okay? I think that's one of the biggest things. Like, are you ready to do it? Do you want to go find 2 people? Like, that sounds scary to people. I don't know. What's that mean? What do I do? But if you say, are you ready for me to show you the way? Are you ready for me to show you how? Are you ready for me to help you? Those sound inviting much more than are you ready to go do it? Does that make sense to people? So let them know you have the system in place. This is my favorite part of my job, is getting people paid. This is what I spend most of my time doing, is helping new people get started in the products and then helping them get paid. I would love to help you do that. They're either going to be ready now or later. And Sarah Farnsworth is awesome about her consistency as she stays in touch with her customer of asking, are you ready to have me help you find a couple people to do this with you? You have to keep asking them if they're not ready right away. Not every single moment, but every time you're hearing great stuff. So I have lots of different strategies in the way I do that. If they're not quite ready, I take a screenshot of this rave review that they just gave me, right? And then I will post it on Facebook and say, I can either make this anonymous or I can tag you in it. If I tag you in it and your friends like what they see, they might ask what you're doing, but I'll post it. So that's one way you can do it if they're not ready to post their own story. Then I have a lot of people say, you can tag me, so those are just some different strategies. But when going back to the whole thing, when they say, yes, I'm ready to get started learning how to get my products paid for, the first thing I suggest is making a post on Facebook that I will either write for you or help you write. I usually say write for you once I gather some information for them. And those of you who have been around a while know that we have all the scripts, okay? And you need to tweak them and make them personal. But they are in the ownyourlifeacademy.biz. So we can go over this, but don't act like you're helpless. It's all right there. So I will ask them, and I got this from Trudy Maples, give me 3 adjectives to explain how you felt before you started Isagenix. Like the whole reason you started. They can whip those out right away. And then I let them answer. And then I say, now give me 3 words to describe how you feel now. And with that little amount of information, and usually I know something about them too, I can write a power post. When you tell them to write a power post, like, what's that mean? They don't know what that means, right? For at the beginning, you got to do work. It's work. I'm working the hardest when I got people out there working, okay? Because it's easy for me to now enroll people. When it's time to do it, I know all the steps like that. And then what I will tell you is when you feel rusty, it's because you're moving slow. So when you stay inconsistent, this will constantly feel hard because you're having to continuously remind yourself what you're supposed to do next when someone's interested in the opportunity, or you have a team member that wants to share. Or you aren't up with some of the changes that Isagenix has made, that we have made, the new Crystal bonus. Everything feels rusty and hard. So stay plugged in. That's my number one tip when people decide to do the business. You absolutely have to stay plugged in. We are here to help you. We can't do it for you. I can't like retell you everything that happened on all the calls that you missed. Okay. So you absolutely have to, not you guys, you guys are plugged in. You have to tell them that they have to be plugged in. Okay. So when I am getting a new person now, when they, let's just say, so that's how I get them started. If like we're easing someone in, not someone who says, yes, I'm all in, I want to do this. Ease them in, write the post for them. Once you've got the post up, make sure it's public. You copy and paste that link and you go to your, if you have a group of team members, 5 friends, tell them to go love on this person. They're scared to death to put this post up. They need to see that love and support that they get from that team stat, like immediately. And that, you guys, is amazing. Brandy Nielsen, who's on here, is kicking butt. And she has an amazing entrepreneurial mind. It took her a year to post. I just did not give up on her because you guys, I can see it in people. They don't see it in themselves yet, but you have to cast the vision. When you can see people, she already was a positive light out there on Facebook. She already was confident in herself. She was a people person. People liked her. All of her posts got overwhelming traction. I'm like, I want this girl like to be working on my team. I want to work with her. So once she did it, she said, okay, if you can promise that I'll get some likes and love, I will do it. And I said, I can 100% promise that, because I knew we had that team of support. And that may not seem like a big deal. It's huge. How many people, the first time you post or anytime you post, if you knew you were going to get overwhelming, awesome response to it, would help, right? So do that for your people. They need to have a great experience right away. And then also in the Own Your Life Academy, it talks about making your list and messaging people. And Zoe already talked about that. So the two things are necessary for a new business builder. They have to have a presence on social media. They don't have to, but if I'm going to be realistic, it's going to be slow, right? Just one by one by one by one. So when I match expectations, so someone comes in, so I recently had someone, Shannon, come in after a while, and she's like, all of a sudden all in, like, this is my goal. I want to quit my job. Like, they've got big goals. So when I have someone like that, separate from the person I'm like dripping the opportunity on, right? But when I have someone who is serious, I put those expectations out there right away. What is your why? And what is your income goal? And to be honest with you guys, we find the income goal after we know the why, because the income comes from what they need to fulfill the why. It's still not that dollar amount that matters in their life. So if it means replacing an income, I ask them, how much money are you making at your job? You have to ask them things like that. Otherwise, we have no idea of supporting them. So she tells me how much I'm making. I'm like, do you need that full amount or more? Or, you know, what level could you be living this dream of being home with your family? And then I keep casting, and I learned this just recently from Jessica Rigner that I want to do even more, is keep breathing that into them. So all the time I'm like, she keeps working and hustling, and when she has frustrations or anything, I'm talking to her constantly in Marco Polo. I'm like, Shannon, you are going to be home with your children. I can see it now. You will have that last day at the office. So keep casting that vision into their head. So the expectations that I set with them is, what is their income goal? And I said this to her because her and a couple other people were not super present on social media. And I said, you're going to have to be present on social media, responding and, interacting with people. Can you do that? And so they made that shift. They were willing to do that. Yes, I will do that. I keep casting the vision on your own page, you guys. So as I've grown in this, probably probably 60-40 if I had to guess a percentage, if most of my posts have to do with The vision of the opportunity is probably 60%, 40% is the product. I'll never ignore one or the other. But when at the end of the day, you guys, I'm looking for business builders. And if you're looking for someone who has vision and grit, that's the vision that you have to cast. Along with on the side, you know, these amazing products. I want a health-minded people. I want a health-minded person that already feels that that's a priority in their life and that has the grit to keep working and has an entrepreneurial mindset. And that's when you get back to that, you know, that whole LinkedIn thing. Not that you won't find some of those people on the other platforms, but that's why they're suggesting that one. I have them on welcome calls. Every single person they enroll, I'm doing welcome calls with them. So I have a gal that she's enrolled 13 people in less than 3 weeks, which is absolutely exciting, but she's super busy. But guess who else is? You guys, it's so awesome. Most of my time is absorbed right now with her because I'm doing all these welcome calls. And after 6 or 7, it was hard for her, but I had to say, here's the guidelines. You can do it. And people get scared to do it on their own, but the only way we learn, unfortunately, they look at us when we have lots of experiences, I'll never be that good. And you're not going to be right now. But guess how we got that way? We keep getting better by practice and practice and practice. And if you have me keep doing it for you and you don't do it yourself, you're never going to learn. And as I taught her how to do the welcome calls, I saw all these things that I should have included. So it's not about being perfect. It's just doing as good as we can and getting better every single time. Then I tell them you absolutely have to go to the events. It is non-negotiable. You will not get to the top and start making big income levels without going to Isagenix events. So then we show when the next event is and schedule the next events in their calendar. Staying plugged in. And I do remind people, especially when they're first getting started, to never apologize for needing help from me and that they don't work for me. I'm not their boss. If anything, it's a little bit flipped around and that I work for you. You know, my goal is to give you all the resources and the tools to be successful. That is my job. I think people get it flipped backwards and they try and get on cruise control a little too fast and have their team just go. You just really need to be there for them and realize that, you know, for my people that are working the hardest, I pretty much within reason will drop anything for those people because they are freaking generating the income on my entire team. And for those brand new people. Now, I won't do it for someone who's rescheduled, canceled, and not consistent. No. If you know, we've talked about, you know, yes, matching energy for energy and people just qualifying for your time. And I've gotten sucked in the wrong way and beaten myself up getting in these ridiculous conversations that got me nowhere. And if you would spend that time with Allison Lindstrom, holy crap, look where you would be. I mean, do something like that. Invest your time in people who are deserving of your time. I was trying to look at it. Oh, I would say the last thing is you have to teach them a little bit. And we do some of this in the Own Your Life Academy. And we have some other resources. On social media, I know this is a really hard knack for people. Yes, consistency after that first post. And then what does the rest of consistency look like? So the hardest thing for people to understand is that you are not Isagenix. So don't post canisters of Isagenix and constantly only talk about Isagenix. It is such a turnoff. That is the turnoff you guys see from other people. And however, you will brand yourself, and believe it or not, it will all tie into your end mission of enrolling people, because this comes down to trust. How much can you get people to trust you? And if most of your posts are a cookie cutter, copy and paste, I saw this cool thing, someone else did, oh, this worked for them, I'll see if it works for me. They are not you. You are not them. You have to come up with your own content. And I know that seems daunting to some people and overwhelming, but I just always suggest people to follow, to get a feeling of it. And what I learned was I went and looked for like the top 10 to 20 income earners in Isagenix, along with the top people in our team. And you'll find people that kind of fit your flow. A couple of my recent people that have done a really good job is both Brandy Nielsen and Shannon Schlappkol. And they do a good job of thinking of things that happened in their day or their life and thinking that would be a really good post. That's kind of how you brand yourself, okay? So find the things that are you. Don't stop talking about knitting if that was something that you constantly did on your page. And then like recently, it was so heartwarming. Shannon was telling us on Marco Polo that she works full time and went home and was able to make a shake, and you know, her kids are home and they wanted her to go on the golf cart and ride around and throw the ball with the dog and all these things. And she brought tears to our eyes with her story of, gosh, if I had to prep a whole meal, a healthy meal, I never would have, I've been robbed of that time. And the fact that I can make this shake and go and spend that one little 45 minutes of my lunch break that I get right now with my kids was priceless to me. She's like, I think I'll write about that. I'm like, yeah, you've got me right now. So you have to think about what's going to grab their heartstrings. And you're looking for people probably like you, moms who want to be with their kids more. Or who are you? Figure out who you are, and that's who you're talking to. Every single time you're post, you are talking to one person, not the masses. I think that's the biggest thing that we learn, instead of going, hey, everyone, anyone who wants to get healthy, come to me. Where really you're like, hey, mama, I hear you. I know how exhausting it is. Like, be real with people. Talk to the people that you want to join your team. And then I will lastly say, my second suggestion after posting consistently is make a list of your top 20 dream team people. So when we say we know who we want to work with, who are the people that you think are shining lights that you would absolutely love to work with? And I want you to engage highly in their pages so they start seeing also what you're doing. And soon I would approach them and ask them if they would like to take a look at what you're doing. And you stay focused on them until they tell you, no, I'll never do this ever again. Take me off your list. And what's really fun is when you see those dream team people come onto your team, like Allison, right? So that is cool. And guess what? Things tend to kind of work out when you find the people that you're looking for, rather just waiting for whoever tends to want to come to you.
That's so awesome. And this is what I'm loving about this training. I just keep taking notes on it, what everyone's saying. Like, this is my dream team right here, you guys. So this training is so awesome because you're hearing from people who are on my dream team. So I absolutely love this. Lisa's getting antsy to give away the first prize. We have one more skill and then we're going to do our first prize. So hang in there. We've actually, we were up to 65 people on the call. We've lost a few. So a few people are not going to be in on the drawing, unfortunately, but we're going to keep moving, guys, and we might have a few more people popping in and off too. And these are just some things that I knew would come up in Lori's presentation. So we already heard about ISA Life app, the ISA Tools app, our business pages. So I just had a couple slides for those, and they've all been talked about already. All right, so next up, Lori just made mention to this, the importance of events. When you are building a business, guys, Lori just said it, they're non-negotiable. Events are non-negotiable. And I asked Valerie Gerber to speak on this because she is not only my next door neighbor, she was my U+2, she was my number one. She came with me right away. She came with me on my enrolling meeting with Jill Scott. And I don't know that she's missed an event. I mean, she comes to every event. And that's amidst a full-time job and all these big responsibilities she has in her life because she knows so well the power of events. So that's why I asked her to speak on it. Val, are you able to unmute and share with everybody? And you know, share some experiences that you've had as well, because I think everybody knows events are important, but I really want to hit it home why everyone needs to make this a priority.
Mm-hmm. All right, I think I'm unmuted. So thanks for having me tonight, Cindy. This has been a great training. I'm like, Lori had me on the edge of her seat with her energy. I'm so excited. It makes me like want to go do things right away. But you know, Eric Worre's skill on promoting events is super important, but I want to go back a little bit and talk a little bit about what the events are and why they're important, so that we feel compelled to promote them. It's kind of like we find out with the products and the other things in our business, we need to find value in it before we can really be passionate about it and go promote it. So, you know, Eric talks in his book about the events that are really key are the destination events. And those are the events that you actually have to go to. And Isagenix offers 4 core events every year. And the first one is New Year's Kickoff, and that is in January. And it's just a fabulous way to kickstart your business for the new year, and fabulous training as well. And then sometime late spring or early summer is the ICU event, which is a meat and potatoes. I love that event. It's a smaller event, and you just really learn a lot of key things about the business, the company, and I absolutely love the ICUs. The next one is kind of the flagship, and that's in August. It's the one coming up, and it's our global celebration. And that event is just undescribable. It is packed with several days of training. And I mean, Isagenix spares no expenses. You know, for the amount of money that they charge us to come to these events, it's like minuscule to what it really costs them. I think John Raines even told us one time what it cost Isagenix for each associate that comes to the event, and it is nowhere near what we're being charged. So we get so much for that. And then we have University in Action in October, and that one is great because it's just a multi-day personal development workshop where you can really become a professional network marketer and become a leader in this business. And so the events are so important because, like Tyler mentioned earlier, it's all about building yourself professionally and personally, and you get the best of that with the events. So back to what Eric is talking about with the destination events. He says that a lot of people think because of technology that these destination events are kind of a dying breed. But he also says that if you believe that and you don't go to these, you will never ever be a top earner or industry leader in your business. And there is just something so amazing about going to these events and just feeling, getting away from your like everyday humdrum routine. There's just something really magical about being with everyone else at these events. And Cindy's right. I have never missed one. And I'm sure that she would say that, I mean, we grew from the very first event, there were 3 of us, 3 people on her team. And we joined in the beginning of June, and the leaders that had come before us told us that we needed to be in Arizona in August. So 2.5 months after starting, we were in those seats in Arizona, and it was such a fabulous experience. And I have not missed an event since then. It's been wonderful. They are non-negotiable. I've even had, in the 7 years, I've gone to 2 employment interviews, and that was part of my accepting the position. I need time off in August and I need time off in January. It was non-negotiable. And like Lori said, getting it on their calendar right away is so important. And not just waiting until the one event has happened to put the next one on your calendar. I feel that it's super important, maybe not right away because you don't want to overwhelm people, but you know, you want to have those events on the calendars way before they come up so that people can plan, because it does take, you know, some commitments, whether that's leaving a family at home or some financial commitments, but it's just so worth it. So once you find value in it, then you're able to promote it. And, you know, that's going to be so important. And so many people have already touched on promoting those and how important that is. And so I just wanted to like tell you a little bit about it. And so.
Oh dear, she must have disconnected herself right out of the meeting. And I think she was going to tell you a personal story. I want to tell you one thing. I shared this with our mastermind group. And for those of you that are brand new, once you become an executive on our team, you are invited to be part of our mastermind. And we meet on Mondays, the same day as our team meeting that evening. And we have just grown to be so close. We just work so hard together as a team cohesively to bring you new trainings, new incentives, we add things to the website, to our Facebook groups, always doing things. And I was sharing with them on our mastermind call a book I was just reading. And in the book, it said not attending events can be the death of your business. And I was like, that's quite a bit, you know, that's pretty dramatic, but it's so true. And I've seen it over and over again, guys. I've seen people that want this so desperately. They want this business. They want success. They want to earn 6 figures, kind of like what Lori was saying. They want to stay home with their kids, and yet they find an excuse why they can't be to celebration. But then you hear someone like Val say, I'll take this job if you give me New Year's kickoff off and celebration off, because those are non-negotiables and they're in my calendar. Val, are you with us? Having the full screen like this, I can't see the chat and I can't see if she's back in. She must be off. All right. Oh, I hate that. So Lisa, you can take this opportunity right now and do your giveaway, and I'll be catching the chat after when I get my reports for sure. Do you want to do that in the chat, Lisa? Okay.
I just posted it in the chat.
Okay. Fabulous. Fabulous.
So we can go on, they can answer, and if you want to go on to the next subject, I'll kind of coordinate all the names, and then I'll pick a winner, and I'll post the winner while we're still continuing with it.
Awesome. Awesome. That's great. We'll keep going. Val's messaging me. She's having trouble on her end. I'm sorry you're going to miss her story. I'm going to see if she'll type it in the chat for you, whatever else she was planning on sharing. And then we do want to try to get to some questions at the end. So I'm hoping maybe some of you guys can be jotting down the questions that you're seeing so we can address them at the very end. All right.
Cindy,
Yeah.
I was just going to mention, since we're at a break, I had 2 important things written down that I didn't mention, just quick tips.
Sure.
And that is that it's super important to not that they don't necessarily need your new distributor to know the entire comp plan, but it is important that they understand the basics. And so the basics are you share, so enrolling, but then also creating leaders and duplication. So at least know that they know it's you share, they share, and then you repeat that process, just so they realize enrolling is never going to get you to your dreams alone, and that it really is the duplication. I didn't mention that, and that's the part of the comp plan that they really need to know, if anything, is it's that duplication that's going to create residual income for them. And then what I also do, if they have an income goal, is I get out all the stars and go, okay, here's your goal then. We need to get you to 3-star. So that's what 3-star means. So then they have a goal. Along with, while they go you share and they share. Like those 2 seem really like the basics as far as teaching any comp plan that they would need to know.
Right, right. That's great. And Lori hasn't seen my slides yet, so wait till you see my slides, Lori.
Okay, sorry.
This is so funny. Great. Mine think alike. All right, guys. So what I'm going to talk about next is our compensation plan. And Lori is spot on. You have to know it. So in the beginning, when you get started with the business, you don't have to know everything. There's so many different ways that you can get paid in Isagenix. It can be overwhelming, right? So we don't want to overwhelm people, but we do want to give them enough information that they know what is available to them. And when Val was saying that she was on the edge of her seat when Lori was talking, the reason that you guys felt that way, and you probably felt that way about every single speaker that we've had. If you've noticed one similarity about everyone that's been training, they're excited, they are fired up, their posture is amazing, they're confident, their belief is high, and we're going to talk about belief at the end of this to bring things home. So that's what you guys want to be working on a daily basis. And when Tyler was saying how it's so important to be involved in personal growth, like I teach and preach this every single day. There's not a day that goes by, not a day. I'm on vacation and I'm still listening to things when I'm running in the morning. I'm reading books, I'm listening to podcasts, watching videos every single day. So that's an absolute must. So what I'm going to talk about with you guys now is the basics of the compensation plan. I'm not going to go into the whole entire thing, but I want you guys to be aware of what I say to people and maybe my verbiage and how I talk to people when I'm getting them started. When Allie was talking about what she says to her clients, what I loved about that was she planted the seeds right away about the IsaBody Challenge. And that's why I have this slide here. Guys, we have a loyalty reward program that is better than any other loyalty reward program I'm in. Well, I guess I get a companion pass on Southwest, so that's pretty cool too. But guys, most people love loyalty reward plans. If you go to coffee shops, if you've got the Starbucks app, you go through and you get so many coffees, you get a free coffee. People love that. There's different, stores all over that have loyalty reward programs. The more you purchase, the more you buy, you get something back free. People love that. So when we can tell our clients that they can get $600 a year in free products, you bet they're excited about that. I don't prejudge. I don't talk to someone and say, oh my gosh, they're a 2-income household. They have $1 million home and their kids go to private school. They don't need free products. I would never, ever prejudge anyone that way. Everyone enjoys getting something for free. And when they can get their groceries for free, this is a huge one. So everyone I talk to, immediately upon enrollment, we talk about the IsaBody Challenge. I try to get them to sign up immediately into this challenge. With the Isa Life app, I have them download that app right away. Those are like the non-negotiable things, all the things you've heard about, the welcome letters, all of those things. This is one of those things. Immediately, you talk to them about the IsaBody Challenge. You get them to sign up for it and get them understanding that they're going to do a challenge. They're going to take their end photos, and that's going to be their starting photos for their next challenge. They're going to constantly be in a challenge, and they're going to earn $600 a year just for being a loyal customer. And then now you've planted the seed about getting products paid for. So right after that, we move right on. And here are some of the bonuses that are available to you guys. And all you need to do to find out about all of these bonuses is just simply go into your back office, click on contests and promotions, and you can find details and flyers on everything I have on this screen. So our product introductory bonuses just got sweeter. Everyone that you get started in Isagenix, no matter what they buy, you're going to get a bonus on. When we can help people, even a young college student that maybe gets another young college student started that doesn't have maybe the funds to do a value pack. Maybe they order 2 canisters of shakes. That young college student is going to get a 10% bonus on the PIBs. That's amazing, you guys. So how generous is this company? In 7 years, they've not taken any bonuses away from us. They've only added to our compensation plan. It just gets better and better. It never ceases to amaze me when they come up with all these new things. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. So product introductory bonuses for everyone, huge. Crystal consultant bonuses. Guys, I'm hoping this is going to stay with us because they did this once before and it went so well they brought it back. Giving someone $50 to share with 2 people is awesome enough. But now we're telling them, oh, just by sharing with 2 people, we're going to give you $150. Oh my gosh. It is so easy for us to be able to get our people paid. And that is the key, guys. If you want retention in your teams, if you want people to stay with you and continue to order month after month after month, get them their products paid. This needs to be such a huge priority to you. Number 1, get them into IsaBody Challenge so they're getting their referral rewards. Number 2, get their products paid for. The Crystal Consultant bonus is a great, quick, immediate way to get that started. And 40 is the new 20. I put that here because for some of you, you've been around for a while. We ate up our $20, $100 consultant bonuses long ago. Now you get 20 more. We're going to go over this a little bit more, you guys, but for those of you that are new, what that means is when you share with 2 people, say your first 2 people you share with, and then they share with 2 people, you're going to get a $100 bonus every time you break a consultant. That means you teach them how to share with 2 people. And now you can do that 40 times. That is another unbelievable incentive, guys. So again, they just keep making this sweeter and sweeter. So upfront money for you. And what I love about this is, this is one way for you to earn money with your upfront money. You get started on the program and you share with 2 people. And no matter, like I said, no matter what they get, whether it's a pack, whether it's individual products, whether it's a large pack, you're going to get product introductory bonuses on that. You teach them to share with 2 people and they get product introductory bonuses, and then you get your consultant $100 bonuses for sharing it with 2 people. You need to be able to draw this out. I draw this out on notepads in coffee shops. I draw this out on napkins if I don't have a notepad with me, but I usually am pretty prepared for that. I have an iPad with the pen. I draw it out with my iPad with the pen. It doesn't matter what you have, but you do need to get to the point where you are comfortable sharing at least this much, like Lori was just saying, at least this much. You want to know more because there are going to be people that are going to say, then what? Then what? And they're going to want to know what's next and what's available to them. But this is key because if you can get people to the manager level, and you can do this pretty quickly, they're going to stay on the program. They're going to stay, your retention is going to be higher for them, and they're going to be excited. Those are the people that are going to go to events with you. Those are going to be the people that show up on team calls. This is where you want to get people. There is statistics on getting people to manager. So this should be a focus for everyone you enroll. Really work hard to ask them, who do you know that might want to do this program with you? The call that Jessica Rigner did, if you guys did not watch that team call, go to ISA for Wealth in the search bar, type in team call, they all come up. Click on Jessica Rigner or just put her name in the chat if you know how to spell it. Watch that call. She said when she got started, she was a high-powered corporate employee making a great income. Her husband made a great income. They did not need this for the income. And she just was going to try this out and do a 30-day. And she asked 5 friends to do this with her. And now she is a full-time Isagenix rock star, living her dream life. So who do you know that might want to do this with you? Such an easy question to ask. People that are married, would your spouse like to do this with you? Do you have any siblings? Do you have any neighbors that might want to do this? Any other mom friends that might want to do this? All you have to do is ask to get them thinking about who might want to do this program with them. Simple way to get people started. And you've heard all the other ways about posting on Facebook and social media, Instagram story, all of those things as well. All right. So your upfront money is your product introductory bonuses and then your rank advancement bonuses. And then this slide shows you your residual income. And what is so powerful about this is you do your work once and you get paid on it long after the fact. Compounding is the 8th wonder of the world, guys. This is so powerful. There's a great quote that says, if you knew the power of residual income, you would crash through a brick wall. I have bricks right behind me to get it. And it's so true. You can earn commissions on unlimited depth here. And this is so different. Guys, 20 years I spent in the home party plan industry with the same compensation plan in 2 different companies. This was not the same. This is so different. I still am blown away that I can get paid on people in my 25th generation. It's mind-blowing to me, and I can get paid on what other people do. So I can have people underneath me that I didn't enroll, that someone maybe above me enrolled, and I can earn money on their volume. That is just mind-blowing. And I am rewarded for my people to do amazing in this business. There are companies that if I enrolled a Lisa Maciel and Lisa out-earned me and had a bigger team or did better than I did, I would lose her and her whole entire organization. And here they say, great job helping Lisa Maciel. I'm going to give you an extra 10% bonus on everything that she does. Thank you. Congratulations. Mind-blowing. When I realized this compensation plan and the power of it, you guys, I didn't sleep for a month. And when I say I didn't sleep, I go to bed at, I'm in bed at 9 o'clock at night. I was up late. I was up at 5 o'clock in the morning messaging people. I was so fired up when I understood the compensation plan and what it could do and how it could change people's lives. And I knew it wasn't just going to change my life. It was going to change hundreds and thousands of people's lives, people who trusted me and worked with me and partnered with me. So I just want this to bless all of you that are on this call tonight and everybody that's watching. And remember, you're going to get paid on all the volume through your network. Everyone that is ordering, volume underneath you, the volume flushes up to you and you can get paid on that. So that is a simple diagram, you guys, and it's just showing you that the computer recognizes whenever you have 300 BV on one side and 600 BV on the other, you cycle and you make $54. I know a lot of you guys have seen this, but for those of you that have seen it over and over again, make sure you can draw this out for people because this is powerful. The upfront money is awesome. It's great, and we never get tired of it. And the double PIBs, when we enroll 2 people in 1 week, we never get tired of that. But this is where the magic happens in the residual income. I always tell people about all of our rank advancement bonuses, and I walk them through this. But like you've heard from everyone else tonight, I don't overwhelm them. I don't go through this whole entire chart with people on day one unless they're coming in for the business. The people that are coming in for the business, they want to see it all, and they're not going to be overwhelmed by it. They're going to be super excited about it. So I know by asking great questions, and doing a lot of what Allison was sharing earlier, her verbiage was so great around that and asking all of those questions up front. I know who I can go through this whole chart with and talk about 1-star, 2-star, 3-star bonuses and all of that. And then I know people who I'm sensing maybe that's going to be a little bit overwhelming. So I'm just going to talk about manager, director, and executive. I put their dates, I have them put their dates in their calendar. So when they enroll and they get started on their home screen, when they log into their back office, it tells them when their Crystal Manager date is, when their Crystal Director date is, and when their Crystal Executive date is. And I put it in my calendar as well so that I can stay on top of it. And I can say, Sarah, I don't want you to miss out on your Crystal Director bonus. How are you looking? And I'll go over her back office with her. Okay, you've got 5 consultants. You need 1 more by this date, and we go over it. So be aware of those dates. Make sure they have them on their calendar. You have them on your calendar, because the big thing with this is there is so much money on the table, and it's our job to help our business builders not leave it on the table. We want it in their pockets. We don't want it sitting at corporate office in Arizona. So go through this chart with them, let them know all of the money that is available to them. This chart here is what I have everyone print off. And you've heard me say this probably over and over again, that this Crystal Manager bubble chart is really their business Bible when they get started, filling this out. So I have them keep a copy of it on their end, and I keep a copy on my end, and I follow up with them. So if I'm working with Allison and Allison's gotten some people enrolled, I'm penciling them in all of the slots, and I'm knowing who she's enrolled and who we can work with. And then I'm following up with Allison, and I'm saying, okay, Allison, how's Mary doing? It looks like she shared with 1 person. Is she close to getting her second? And I can really work with her. I link arms with people that are running to executive. When you get someone that's excited about the business, they are your priority. Like Lori was saying, those are the people you're going to invest time in. We invest time with everyone. We love everyone. We're here to coach them. We have systems in place that will help us with all of this, you guys. But the people that really want to do this, these are the ones that we're going to be checking in with often. We're going to be getting on the phone, doing 3-ways, helping them out. We love being busy because of these people that are going for these rank advancement bonuses, and we want them to hit every single one of them. So help them figure out who their 10 are. I have them pencil in the 10 names. Sometimes we have to erase some, then we can pen others in. Once they're done, I check them off, I put a big star, we move on to the next one, and we try to do this with a sense of urgency. And I don't say, guys, take your time. You've got 6 months to do this. I say, let's do this as quickly as we possibly can, because those of you that have been around for a while, consultants can drop off. And we don't want people to be dropping off, and we want to get a buffer of extra consultants so that if someone drops off, we don't fall out of executive. This is where the money, it gets very, very nice at this level, you guys. And I love this level so much, and it is my favorite thing to get people to executive. And one of the main reasons is not only because of the upfront money they're going to earn by getting 10 people started, by the consultant bonuses they're going to earn by getting 10 people to share with 2 people. So they'll get their $1,000 in bonuses. They'll get their Crystal Manager bonus, their Crystal Director bonuses. So they'll get all of their bonuses. But then once they are a paid as executive, they now get an executive match. So all of those 10 people, however many cycles they're cycling in a week, times that by 10%, and they get extra cycles. So just for example, I always go back to my top week ever was when Mocha came out the first time. And that week alone, now I probably have between 23 and 34 consultants at any given time. And they pop in and they pop out, but usually during a shake week, everybody's back up. And when they all cycled that week, my executive match was 50 cycles. So on top of all of my own cycles that I made an additional 50 because I was paid as executive. So you'll hear us talk about this all the time. We have our mastermind group for everyone who gets to executive, and we do special recognition for the people who are paid as executive, because it's not easy to stay paid as. You have to continually stay in action, enrolling people and rank advancing new consultants in order to keep that title. So that is the map that we go by. And then Lori made a note about this chart as well. And this is something that I will hand out to people at meetings when I'm meeting one-on-one with people, or I'll point them to this in their back offices. I want them to have this because I want to know how much money they want to be earning a year, and breaking it all the way down to a week, so that I know how many cycles they need to be focusing on to hit their goals. So I always start off with, what are you wanting to earn? And if you guys remember with Jessica Rigner, she was sharing the story how Jenny Elo found her in her reports, reached out to her, and broached the business with her. And she said she wasn't interested, got off the phone, and then she told her husband about the call. And when her husband found out that Jamie Elo's husband was Craig Elo, who was a professional basketball player, he's like, are you nuts? Call her back and find out what she wants to talk to you about. And then they took the conversations to the next level. One of the first questions Jenny said to her is, how much money would you need to make in order to do Isagenix, in order for this to be a priority in your life? And Jessica said she threw out this crazy number because she thought for sure Jenny would be like, oh, you know, and kind of let her go. And Jenny's like, all right, let's go. And that's all it took to get Jessica started. So guys, it could be $500 for someone. And this is where we don't put goals on people. We ask the questions to find out what their needs are. Someone might just have a simple goal of paying off their student loan debt that they're still carrying. Someone might have a goal of paying for their mortgage. Someone might have a goal of paying for their child to go to a private Christian school. We don't know unless we ask. You've got to ask a lot of questions, find out what their goals are, find out what their why is, and then lead them in the right path. People want to be led. They need you to tell them, okay, so what you're telling me is you need to be earning a 6-figure income in order for you to be able to leave that full-time job that you're unfulfilled in. All right, so this is what we're going to need to do. We're going to need to get you to that 3-star golden circle level, and you're going to need to be cycling at that regularly. So in order to do that, you're going to have this many meetings, this many phone calls. You're going to have to do this many enrollments, and you break it down. So you do the big picture, and then you break it down per week, give people a plan to follow. And this is the beautiful thing. We have all the systems in place for you guys. It seems like a lot of information coming at you tonight because if you're new, maybe you don't know about all of these systems, but we've done all the legwork. We've got the sites for you. We've got the Facebook groups for you. It's all there. You just need to plug into it and plug your people into it. And you can get all of your people to the point where they're earning the money that they want to earn. And that's what it's all about, serving them. There was another note I took when Lori was talking, and I didn't get it in there. And it was, you know, so many of the people that are speaking tonight, what you're attracted to when you hear them and why you're excited and you get all fired up by listening to them is because they're servant leaders. They care more about helping other people achieve their goals than they do their own goals. And they know that by helping other people achieve their level of success, they're going to achieve their goals. That's my favorite thing. I always live by that quote by Zig Ziglar. If you help enough other people get what they want, you will get what you want. And that's so possible for us here. And before yes.
I was going to suggest, and I put this in the chat, that everyone write down, hopefully you wrote down what level. Oh, Lisa's going to do that as a prize. Sorry. Okay, bye. Never mind.
Great minds think alike. I'll say it again. I'm so excited to go back to the chat. But, you know, I'll be back here to close things out at the end. But next up, I'm going to bring back my son. And he's going to talk about the 3 philosophies of network marketing success.
All right. So who is thoroughly overwhelmed at this point? We have the 7 skills, the compensation plan. I'm sure if you're new to this, or even if you're not new, you're probably thoroughly overwhelmed at this point. But we're going to have 2 really, hopefully great trainings here to end it with what I'm going to talk about here and then what Sue's going to talk about. And it's a little bit different than what we've done so far. So I know that when I got started, you know, I was reading all the books, going to all the trainings, getting on all the calls, and was always looking for that tip, that strategy. What's the script that Lori Olson says? What's the presentation Emily Vavra does? What's the post that you know, someone that's earning a lot of money is doing? Like, what are they doing, and how can I emulate that? And you're looking for that skill or that strategy, that tip. And you know, I'm sure a lot of you can relate. You probably came here tonight hoping maybe you just get one. And we hope you did get something, but I think the philosophies around what you're doing is so much more important than any skill or strategy. Because if you can learn how to think, the what will come to you. If you can learn why we're doing what we're doing, why it'll come to you. And I think you'll see a lot of these philosophies are kind of interlaced through the trainings that you've heard tonight from all these top leaders, because they're successful, so they all understand these. And you know, these are nothing new. I didn't create any of this. I picked this up from Simon Sinek, who's a very famous author and speaker. You'll see some of his stuff. You're familiar with him. You'll see some of that stuff. and I picked it up by just studying the successful people. So if any of you were at our Super Saturday in Ohio in February, you already saw this training. So apologies, you got to go through it again, but maybe I got a little bit better this time. So the first philosophy that I think all success people have is the way they communicate. It's funny that no matter who I'm studying, whether it's reading the biography of Ben Franklin or Elon Musk or Oprah Winfrey or Jesus Christ, I mean, they all practice the same thing when it comes to communication. They all communicate the same way. And that's why they're the most effective communicators. And that's why everything people like that do, everything they touch is gold, right? Elon Musk can build PayPal, Tesla, and a company that's put people in space. It doesn't matter what he's doing. Everything is successful because of how he communicates. Oprah Winfrey, everything she does is successful because of how she communicates. And again, this is from Simon Sinek, and it's really a very intuitive little model he has here. So there's 3 parts of any message. There's the what, there's the how, and there's the why. No matter what you're trying to communicate, you're going to use these 3 parts. You're going to try to influence someone to make a decision, to take an action, to do something. It comes down to these 3 parts. And this is even more important when it comes into sales and marketing, which is what we do. But this really applies to every area of your life. So what most people do is communicate what, how, why. They say what they want you to do, how it works, and why they want you to do it. So when I got started in Isagenix, I remember a sweat and sample I had, a workout party in Columbus. We got people together, we worked out. We did a group workout. Afterwards, there was like a 20-minute presentation. There was maybe 15 people there. I got started talking. I was grabbing like AMP products and protein. I started talking about what's in them and how they work. And a couple people like literally got up and left during the presentation, and nobody enrolled. I don't think anybody that showed up that day ever enrolled. And it was because I was talking about the what. I never talked about the why. I talked about what the product was and how it worked. Never talked about the why, right? The most successful communicators do the exact opposite of that. They communicate why first, right? So what's more effective, you could hear this in the way that Jackie and Zoe and Tiffany talked about how you invite and present. You start with why. Why does that person need your help? What is their goal? Why is it important to them, right? Getting down to their why. So you ask someone, why is it important you lose that weight? Why is it important that you make that $1,000 a month? Lori talked about it too. Why? Then it doesn't matter what the how or the what is, right? So I love to give the example of Apple and Samsung. So who on here, raise your hand if you have an iPhone? Almost everyone, right? Like 95% of the people. This is the 3rd time I've given this talk, and every time everyone has an iPhone. And would you say that's because iPhone is drastically better in their technology from, say, Samsung? Probably not, right? We love Apple because of the message, because of the brand. And my videos, I don't think are working on the slides. I'm going to have to pull up, maybe they are. I'm just going to pull up YouTube. But I want to show you guys the difference between a short Samsung commercial and a short Apple commercial. And you'll see why everyone has an iPhone on this call instead of Samsung. And it really, really relates to how we communicate and starting with why. So hopefully this comes up here in a second. And if you've ever seen this commercial, it was a funny one. It was a pretty popular one a few years ago. It's not going to come up. What's going on with the slides here?
It's in there, right?
Let's see if this pops up. Okay, it's going to work.
Hey, they're saying this.
Everybody hear this? Thumbs up.
Ooh, I love that. Yeah. The headphone jack is going to be on the bottom.
I heard the connector is all digital. What does that even mean?
Who knows? I'm psyched. All I'm saying is that they should have a priority line for people who've waited 5 times.
Heard you have to have an adapter to use the dock on the new one.
Yeah, but they make the coolest adapters.
Welcome back.
It's the Galaxy S3 didn't work out. No, I love the GS3. It's extremely awesome. I'm just saving a spot in line for someone.
That's not cool. Yeah, man. This year, we're finally getting everything that we didn't get last year.
Yeah. The big screen. True 4G.
Yep.
All right, so I know you guys, I'm not going to make you watch all of it, but you see the point. It's totally focused on what the product is. And it's funny. I mean, they're basically making fun of Apple and how everybody gets excited about a new headphone jack and all this stuff. But we all still buy Apple because of the message they have, because Apple communicates why first. So now watch this one.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do.
So it's funny, like watching everybody's faces, everyone was way more engaged with that one. And it was because they were talking about the why. You don't even know what the how or the what is. You don't even know it's an Apple commercial until their little logo pops up at the end. And that's why Apple can sell you any what. They can sell you a phone, a TV, a MP3 player, a computer, a laptop, a tablet. Doesn't matter what the what is, because we're all on board with their why. So I want to, like, I know we're not selling phones. We're not a big corporation like that, but I think we can learn a lot from the big businesses and the way they communicate in their marketing and their messaging and in their sales. And I think that really drives home the point of why we need to start with why. So when you're giving a presentation or when you're inviting or when you're prospecting, always start with why. Why is it important? Speak to that emotional level, and then the what or the how will be so easy. And I think that came through with a lot of the presentations we heard tonight. Have something to say? No. Okay, philosophy number 2, real quick. So Simon Sinek also talks a lot about how there's 2 types of games, and business is one type of game. So there's an infinite game, there's a finite game. A finite game is like baseball. There's rules. The players are clearly defined. The teams are clearly defined. There's a clear-cut winner and a clear-cut loser. And then there's infinite games like the Cold War, where if you like history, you know that it was kind of the U.S. versus the Soviet Union, but there's a lot of other countries involved. Nobody really clearly won. It went on for decades. There was battles, losses, all kinds of things going on. Nobody really knows what the rules are or anything. And the difference between a finite game and an infinite game is the goal of a finite game is to win, to beat the competition, to be the best. And the goal of an infinite game, like the Cold War, is just to stay in the game and get better than yourself each and every day. The only way for the U.S. to survive the Cold War was to just get better every day, to improve the army, to improve the resources, improve the military. And he talks a lot about in his books and his speeches about how business is an infinite game and everybody treats it like a finite game. And especially in network marketing. We get involved in network marketing, it usually looks something like this. There's all these people on stage getting all these big checks, and you're in the back like, oh my gosh, how am I ever going to be like them? Like, they have it all put together. They say all the right things. You know, they have the experience, the network, and you make excuses and you're comparing yourself to other people because you're focused on the wrong thing. You're focused on beating someone else, being the best. You're focused on the competition. Well, there really is no competition in what we do except yourself. You're your only competition, and the only goal of any business, and especially what we do, is just to get better than yourself each and every day. So focus on improving your skills, on professional development, on personal development, on having more conversations, and everything else will take care of itself. And that's what a lot of the people that you've heard from tonight, they embody this, right? They're not worried about what everybody else is doing. They're focused on staying in their lane, and they're focused on playing the game that they're in, which is an infinite game. There's no end in sight. Our goal is to impact as many people as we can and build this business as long as we can, and not worry about comparing ourselves to other people. So this is a really tough one. When I was lucky enough to get to go on the START leadership retreat, and they took the top 50 earners in the START group under the age of 35, and I was 49. Like, I barely squeezed in. And getting down there, I was with all these really, really successful people that you see on stage all the time. And, the first day or two, I felt like I don't really belong here. And I was just kind of not being myself and not being outgoing and talking and picking people's brains like I should have been, because I was worried about, looking stupid or comparing myself to them, which is crazy, right? And I know that you guys can relate to that. You got to focus on just getting better than yourself each and every day. And that's how you get to the place that you want to get to. So that's the second philosophy that I see all successful people in this business practice. In an infinite game, you only compare yourself against yourself. The third one is about persistence. And I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with the story of the sower and the farmer sowing seeds. Any successful entrepreneur, any successful network marketer, any successful leader in Isagenix knows that it takes persistence. There is no overnight success. There absolutely isn't. And you got to go through a lot of failures to get there. Just yesterday, we were sitting at a picnic table, and Mom, Zoe, and I were talking about, we were kind of commiserating on people over the last couple of years that have come in with high hopes and done good things and then fallen off or disappeared. And Dad was like, I don't know how you guys do it. How do you continue to deal with these people that keep falling off and, saying big things and then not doing anything, and customers that don't order or return product? And yeah, it's very frustrating. In the beginning, it can take you out of the game. But we were talking, and I was like, well, you just focus on the wrong things if that bothers you. If you're letting one person quitting take you out of the game, you're focused on all the wrong things, because there is no one person that will make or break your business. There's no one customer that'll make or break your business. It's about persevering through the failures until you find the ones that, you know, make up your dream team. So the story of the sower is basically this. There's a farmer, and he's got his bag of seed, and it's planting season. And he's ready to, you know, plant his crop, grow his crop, and looking forward to a great harvest in the fall. So he gets out there, does all the backbreaking labor of tilling the field up, clearing the rocks. He's getting ready to plant. And the first day he gets out there, he's got his bag of seed over his shoulder, and he starts walking down the rows and throwing seed out and planting seed. And after a long day's work in the hot sun, he comes back home and goes back out the next morning to check on his crop. And there's a bunch of birds out in the field that are eating up his seed. And the birds got his seed. Now, the farmer has two choices. Jim Rohn talks a lot about this story as well. And if you haven't heard his audio called Building Your Network Marketing Business, take note of that and listen to it. And Jim Rohn talks about how the farmer has two choices. He can chase the bird and try to get the seed out of the bird's mouth, or he can just get more seed and keep planting seed. And it's pretty obvious what a farmer should do, right? You're not going to ever catch a bird, so you might as well get more seed and keep planting. And he talks about how in network marketing, it's the same thing. We have a choice to chase birds, or we can keep planting seeds. So when someone gets started and they have all this enthusiasm, and then they return their package a week later, or they hit consultant and then they don't stay active, and they have two customers active on each leg and they're not active and they're no longer a consultant for you, the birds got them, right? So you might get you know, Betty started, and you say, Betty, we have a team call Monday night, see you there. And she says, yeah, sure, I'll be there. 8:30, 8 o'clock Monday night, no show from her. You text her, where were you tonight? Oh, you know, so-and-so reminded me to do my research before I get started in a business like this. I looked up some things online, saw some blog articles. I mean, this looks like a pyramid scheme, looks like a scam to me. Like, I just don't think I can do it. I'm probably going to be returning my package, right? We've all had that happen if you've been doing this long enough. The birds got her. And there's no sense in chasing birds. And chasing birds with Betty looks like this. No, it's not a scam. Like, I can send you articles. Like, let's get on the phone and talk. And you put all this mental energy and effort and time into trying to save that relationship or that customer, that distributor, and it's not worth it. The birds already got her. Don't chase birds, right? You don't give up on people, but don't chase birds. Just get out there and keep planting more seeds. Get out there and keep talking to more potential customers or recruits. So the farmer gets back out there. He keeps planting seeds. Next day, batch of seeds falls on rocky soil. Starts to grow. As soon as the sun comes out, the plants wither and die. This happens all the time too, right? We actually get someone started, they have a little bit of success, and then for whatever reason, you know, they quit or they fall off. You know, they get their first no and they quit. How many times, man, I've had so many people, I'm sure you have too, you get someone on their like second three-way call and the person says no, and then they're like, yeah, I don't think this is for me. It's like, we've done 2 calls. Of course you're not going to have any enrollments yet, right? Rocky soil happens, and the farmer has 2 choices. He can try to save a dead plant, or he can keep planting more seeds. And we can try to save those things from happening and put all of our time and energy into saving those people who have already quit on themselves, or we can keep planting seeds. Simon Chan, who's a really famous trainer in the network marketing space, says that people usually decide whether they're going to stick with this or quit within their first 48 hours. He says within 48 hours, people have pretty much made up their mind whether or not they're going to be able to succeed or they quit. It might take them months to actually quit and cancel their authorship, but people usually have their mind made up in 48 hours. And there's not much we can do to influence that. And the farmer has not much he can do to influence the rocky soil, so he keeps planting seeds. Next day, plants start to grow. Plant some more seeds, plants start to grow. Bunch of thorns clench around the plants and kill them. There's a lot of death and unhappiness in this story, and I'm sure if you're familiar with it, you know. But you know, this happens again. Jim Rohn calls them little cares. He says little thorns, little cares that cheat people out of big dreams. People let little things kill the plant, cheat them out of their big dream. They have a wedding that's coming up, so they can't focus on their business, or, they're traveling right now, or they're starting a new job, or they're moving to a new city. Things that all of us do. We all deal with these. Some of us choose to go through those thorns. Some of us wither and die, but there's not much we can do about that, right? Some plants are just going to get killed by thorns. They're just going to get taken down by those thorny plants. So we need to keep planting seeds. And then the happy end of the story is if the farmer keeps planting seeds, eventually it falls on good soil with no thorns, with good weather conditions, and the plants actually grow. And that's what happens in network marketing. If you just stick with this long enough, if you just plant enough seeds, you will have some that grow. And that's why there's leaders on this call tonight that have teams of thousands of people. They've been doing this for 7 years. They've planted enough seeds over the course of 7 years. If you've been in this for 7 months or 7 weeks, you probably don't have a lot of team on this call with you tonight. You simply haven't planted enough seeds. Majority of your seeds have been eaten by birds or killed by thorns. So you just got to get out there and keep planting. And the final lesson of the story is after the plants start to grow, there's going to be certain sections of the field that do better than others. There's going to be a corner over here that does 100% yield where every single seed becomes a plant. And this section of the field, 60% grow. And this section has 30% yield. And again, this isn't of our making. It's not our choice. There's nothing we can do about that. Some of the plants that grow are going to do 100%. Some of them are going to become executive, go 2-star, 3-star, and beyond. Some of them are going to, maybe hit manager and make a good side income for themselves. And some of them might just be happy being a part of this community, getting on the calls. And that's not our choice who those people are. We just have to plant enough seeds so that we have all of them. Of course, we all want the 100%ers, but you have to go through all this failure to get there. So you got to learn to really love that failure. One of the biggest takeaways that I'll leave you with is when I was in Taiwan, one of the biggest takeaways over there, learning from their culture. And I got to spend a lot of time with a guy who's had a lot of success in business and in sales. And he talked a lot about how in Eastern culture, it's yin and yang, right? We know the term yin and yang, black and white, they go together, opposites go together. Failure and success are part of the same concept in their language, in their culture, right? There is only success with failure. There's only failure with success. If you want to achieve success, you have to achieve failure. You get to achieve failure. If you want to, get there, you have to be able to go through that. So if you're new to this and you're naive enough to think that you're going to have success without failure, I want to help you realize tonight that's not going to happen. You need to learn to really embrace the failure because that's where you learn, that's where you grow, and every failure means you're that much closer to a plant that's going to grow and do 100% yield. So those are the 3 philosophies that I've seen all successful people in this business have, the ones that I try to practice every day. They're not easy. It's easy to forget. But if you can learn to practice these, everything else will take care of itself. If you always start with why, you don't need a special script to invite. You don't need a special presentation to give. If you're focused on why, the how and the what of what you're saying is going to come to you naturally. If you know the game you're in, you're not going to be, you're not going to be focused on the wrong things. You're going to stick with it for the long run. And if you just keep planting seeds, results will come. So I hope that helped, and excited for you guys to learn from Sue here. I'll turn it over to Mom, and she'll be able to introduce her.
Awesome. Great job, Tyler. I've seen that presentation before, and I just absolutely love it. And I think, any of the leaders that shared with you tonight will tell you we've all failed. And the only difference maybe between me and you, if you're brand new, is that I've failed a lot more times than you have. And each time I failed, I've pushed my sleeves up and got back to work, pulled my bootstraps up and got back to work. My husband always loves when I mess up my words in the background here. So guys, it's just going to happen for you. And having a great mindset around what's coming is so critical to your success in this industry. And none other than Susan Wheeler will be bringing it home with belief. And what I can tell you about Susan, I met her in my last business when I was pretty new in my last business. We've worked together for many, many years now, I think 18 years. And I've watched her go through thorn bush after thorn bush after thorn bush. And she just always comes back bigger and stronger and better. And it's just been beautiful to watch. And what's so cool is that we've learned and have grown together, and we've been able to teach and help so many people to understand that belief can really, really change everything for you. So Susan, I would love for you to unmute and bring us home here.
I have to say, this training has been unbelievable. I just texted John. He had to go back to Manhattan tonight. I'm like, you don't know what you missed. So I'm glad you're recording it. Everybody was phenomenal. I'm so excited. This was perfect timing right before celebration. So I'm so glad we did this. All right. I like to tell people that belief is not one thing. Belief is everything. And so we got all these great tips and advice and words to use and all this stuff. But if you don't believe, it's still not going to work. Okay. So you could go to the next slide. I'm going to start talking about the 5 beliefs. The first belief is belief in the products. And we all know, we all got started kind of dipping our toe in the water, wondering, are the products going to work for me? How am I going to feel about them? I'll tell you guys, I was a 2 in belief across the board. Okay. a 2. I was a little bit kicking and screaming. I started my Isagenix business, my Isagenix $1 million business with an eye cream. I knew I wanted to be an Isagenix millionaire, but I figured I was just going to start with an eye cream. And I did, because I didn't think I could use the products. And if it wasn't for Cindy, Cindy was so patient with me. I was like a little brat. Yeah, she's shaking her head. I really was a little brat. And the only reason, my belief, I had a belief in Cindy because her belief was so strong, but that was it. So I started with the eye cream. Luckily, the very next day we met, we had a vacation plan in the Outer Banks, and Cindy had all the products with her, because I don't know if I would have ever gotten past the eye cream if you didn't bring shakes on our trip. So I decided I was going to give the products a try. I came home. I did a pure 11-day system. I really didn't have weight to lose, but you can see from my picture here that I had a little fluff, and I actually really toned up. So I was a runner at the time, running about 60 miles a week, that did not address that. So it really caught my attention. And I very quickly became a 10 in belief in the products. And you know what? You can hear people tell you all the time, but until you put the products in your body and use them correctly, you're not going to be a 10. So if you're dabbling in the business, dabbling in using the products, but you kind of see, some people that are doing well and making some money or losing some weight, whatever it might be, if you are not fully committed, you are not going to be a 10 in belief in the products. You don't have to love them all, okay? But you have to love enough of the products and believe that most of the products are for everyone. So it is important, and I start with this one. If you're not a 10, then this is where you need to put your efforts. You need to focus on being a 10 across the board in the products, okay? So you can go to the next slide. Belief in the company. When Val was on before, she was talking about events. And so here I was. Let's see. I believed in the products. I got to attend really quickly, but I had come from a different company that I didn't have a heck of a lot of belief in that I was going to be able to have other people really make it a great business. So I didn't really want to get involved right away again. I was a little hesitant. And so Cindy said, we're going to Arizona. We're going to our first celebration, you and me and Val. And I was like, what? I'm not going. And she's like, oh, yes, you're going. So I thought about it, and I thought, okay, if we're really going to take this seriously, and mind you, at the time, a few people were enrolled. We were enrolling people, of course. We were executives when we went, but it wasn't like the team that you see here now. We were the only 3 people from our team that went to this conference. So we go to Celebration in Arizona, and oh my gosh, this picture that you see, those seats were reserved. They had like reserved seating for 6 and 7 figure income earners, which I went right up there, and that was on my vision board. I saw so many things when I was at that conference. I really got a great feeling for the company. There's all kinds of things that I've gotten over the years. There's a picture of me with my name on a brick. I know a lot of you guys have your names on a brick or your picture on a wall inside the company. But to really go and see the company, the owners, the other people in the company really made a huge difference for me. And I went from thinking, wow, this is the vehicle that I can really align myself with. So you really, if you haven't been to a conference, and you really want to do this as a business, you've got to go. Figure it out. Like, no one became a doctor or a lawyer or anything, you know, in a big company like that, a big career, without getting an education, right? This is your education. So go learn, be one with the company, and your belief in the company must be a 10. And then, okay, then belief in network marketing. And here's where it gets tricky. So you can go and you can have great belief in the company, and then it's network marketing, which just sometimes has been given a bad name. You've all heard pyramid scheme. To be perfectly honest with you, I never hear that ever anymore, because my belief is so over the top that I just think that no one ever brings me pyramid scheme. So network marketing, it's a little different. You know, we tend to we'll go and maybe represent another company that someone's writing a paycheck for us, or maybe we have to make 50 calls a week, or you just have to show up and do this work at your desk. Network marketing, the reason you've got to have a 10 in belief is because it is about you. So you are the face of your brand. And of course, we all have the same brand. Why are some people, you know, more successful than others? It's all belief, 100% belief. And you've got to be a 10 in belief in network marketing. This is a picture from last year, all our executives at our whiteout party, which was so cool. And then off to the left of the screen, you will see my son, and I'm so proud of him. For the last 2 years in the START the START community, he was top 10 income earner. And you know, you've got to really have belief if you're going to bring people in. And my son watched me with very little belief in the beginning. I mean, he had a lot to overcome, but he wouldn't have been on that stage if he didn't work on, this is where he really struggled, was belief in network marketing, because so many people didn't believe in that concept. You know, there's just kind of negativity about it. So you've really got to be a 10 in belief in network marketing, because it is you. It's not the product, it's you. Next one. Okay, belief in yourself in network marketing. You might believe in network marketing, right? Because you'll go to a conference and you'll see all these different people on stage. We have, you know, I can see 3 Isagenix millionaires right here on my screen. I don't know what you guys can see, but I see Cindy and Lisa and Lori, and you can see some of these other people. So you might believe in network marketing, but then it's like, wow, like, how do I fit in network marketing? And this is one that I struggled with a little bit, because when I started going to, I went to my first event, and I saw Lynn Hagedorn on stage, and she had earned $1 million in 1 year. And I'm just such a student. I was like, oh, okay, that was at my very first event. So now I need to go and I'm going to earn $1 million this year. That's just kind of, that was a benchmark for me. I just saw it, and that's what I believed. And it didn't happen. In fact, my first year, which is really a half a year in network marketing, I earned $17,000, which, you guys, is phenomenal. But my head said 1 million and I saw 17,000. So this is where I'm talking about belief. So try to follow me. $17,000 is a lot of money. In fact, it was about where I capped out in leadership income in my other business. So my first year was 17,000. My next year, I doubled it. But I had also had more months in the business in the next year. So I was 30,000 the second year. And I have to tell you guys, belief in myself in network marketing was not working out very well for me. So much so that I did not want to attend our next conference. I just said, you know what? This isn't for me. If I am not going to this conference, not that I was leaving the company, but I said, I'm not going to go to an event again. And thankfully, Cindy, and we're talking about great leaders, and you've heard from some great leaders, she really guided me, and she said, you know, this is the time you need it the most. When you feel your worst, you need to get plugged in and go. Thank God I went to that conference, because at that conference, Alexis Romano was on stage, and her story was very different from Lynn Hagedorn. She went from 7,000 to 13,000 to 23,000 to 60-something thousand to $900,000 in 1 year. Her jump was so huge, and I was like, oh, okay, I can do that. And I had really put my belief in myself so low, and it really took me seeing something like that to snap me out of it. I went home, and I went from earning $53,000 to $110,000 the next year, and I have been a multiple six-figure income earner every year since then. And this is really what belief does, because I'm going to repeat it again because I want you guys to follow me. I saw Lynn Hagedorn earn $1 million, and when I didn't do it, I did not believe in myself. And if I hadn't gone and seen someone tell her story so heartfelt, and how she stuck with it, and how in 1 year she just went, to the top, it might not have given me that belief. So I hear from it. I hear from people on my team. I talk to a lot of people that are really down on themselves because their belief in themselves, network marketing, well, Lori Olson can do it. Well, Allison can do it. But, instead, it's like, if you're going to compare yourself with someone, compare yourself in such a way that, oh, I can do that too. Not like, oh gosh, I suck. Because I did that, took myself out of the game, you guys, for 3 years. So I just want to tell you, believing in yourself in network marketing, find a way. One of the things that I did was I became a certified mindset coach, because I learned how much belief was so important. And we all have the same products. We all have the same website. We all use HHP, hopefully. We're all in ISA for Wealth. We all have the same trainings and everything available to us. But what's up here is different for every single one of us. You need to be a 10. And then the last one, oh, that was it. You know what you skipped, Cindy? You did skip one of my slides, but that's okay. Maybe you skipped it, or maybe I didn't send it to you. But it's okay. It was back then. It was there was a screen, belief in yourself, but maybe I didn't send it to you. Yeah, I didn't. Anyway, I had a screen. It was just belief in yourself. Like, we believe in ourselves in so many different areas. It's not, I see it. It's not in there, Cindy. I'm looking at mine that I sent to you and I didn't.
Okay.
But what I just want to go over is that my screen is a picture of, it's just pictures of me, running marathons and doing all kinds of different things. And my point is, we have belief in ourselves in so many areas of our life. Like, borrow some of that belief, because if I can run a marathon, I can enroll somebody, I can promote a consultant, I can do this just like everyone else. So we all believe in ourselves in some way, but just transfer that belief into something new and different, and you can do it too.
That's awesome. Great job. Great way to wrap it up. I knew you'd be the one to bring us home. And really, guys, you know, this is so important to your success in the business. And I always say to everyone, you know, I can believe in all of you, and I do. I wouldn't invest the time I invest with you guys. I'm on vacation and I'm showing up and I'm working every single day. And some of you may know I had no Wi-Fi, no cell phone coverage. I've been going into town, going to coffee shops, doing Zooms, doing all these meetings and trainings, and I do it all because number one, I love you all. Number two, I believe in you all. And number three, I just want to see you succeed to your level of success that you are seeking. And that's why we do what we do. That's why we show up. I'm so proud of every single one of you for sticking with us for 3 hours this evening, giving up your time. And I hope you found this training valuable. I can't even tell you. I mean, I knew this would all come together so beautifully. I have such vision when I plan things like this. And, you know, we put this together, we lined everyone up, we got the slides together, and I told everybody what I wanted, big picture, what I wanted, and I wouldn't change a thing. It was absolutely remarkable. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for presenting tonight, you guys. Lisa, do you have anything you need to share or add before we close?
I actually just posted was still writing out tickets, but what I might do so I don't keep everyone on is maybe on Icicle Wealth, I'll post the final winner there.
Okay.
And that way I can share the picture that you sent me of it.
Oh, I have it right here too.
Yeah, I have it in the text. Well, if you can do it from your phone.
No, I can do it in real life.
Oh, or that.
Real life.
Yeah. So go ahead.
You want me to?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so this is the coolest little cord organizer for all of you entrepreneurs. It just, you can put every single cord, batteries, chargers. I have my extra chargers in here. Everything you can imagine fits in this little handy dandy thing, and it does fit just right in your little bag. Got it at Staples, absolutely love it. So I just thought it'd be a handy tool for you entrepreneurs. Awesome. Well, I can't thank you, Lisa, for taking care of prizes and handling the chat and everyone that's posted in there. I can't wait to get the chat. And guys, we're here to help you. So if you had any questions that were unanswered and they're in that chat, I will be personally going through it and I will get back to you. If you have anything you need help with, you let us know. You know who your upline leaders are. If you don't know, just message me. We want to make sure that your questions are answered, that you feel equipped, that you're empowered to take your business to the next level. We cannot wait to see all of you in Nashville and can't wait to see you at the team party. So we love you all. We believe in you. And we just want to see you guys have such tremendous success in this unbelievable opportunity that we've all been blessed with. So have a great evening, everyone. Lisa, do you need a second?
No, I'm all set.
You're all set? All right. All right, guys. Love you. Thank you. Have a great night, everybody.